Hello, and welcome to Against the Dragonlords. I am Russ, aka Morris, or Morris, aka Russ. And tonight we are going to be playing this 1984 Dragonlance module called Dragons of Despair. I have converted it to Advanced 5th Edition, and we have 4 amazing players. So let's go through those players one at a time, and we will start, I think, with Jessica.
Hello. Hi. So yeah, I'm Jess. You'll probably recognize me if you're on EN Live stuff because I do not D&D, and I'm also a co-host with Russ on Morris's unofficial tabletop RPG talk show podcast, which hasn't known this too long. But yeah, so I'm really excited to be playing. I love playing Level Up. My character, I've got an image just down the side there. I'm going to be playing Constance, who is an aspiring knight of Solamnia. She is human, imperial, martial, and I've not played the martial class before. So if I get it wrong, please let me know in the comments and tell me what I should be doing.
Okay. And Dare, could you introduce yourself and your character, please?
Hey, I'm Dare, the resident American today.
Yes, the one American in a room full of Brits.
I am very excited to be here. If you've seen stuff like Transplanar RPG and All Trans D&D Actual Play podcast, I'm on there. I'm one of the regular cast members. But yeah, I'm a trans writer, poet, a million other things. But today I am playing Royce, who is not going to be a problem at all, and is a rogue who's done nothing wrong ever. I promise you.
Looking forward to it. Okay, Jack, would you like to go next?
Yes. Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm Jack. I have done a bit of work with Ian before. I've done a bit of content for those guys, and I also had the pleasure of taking part in a one-shot stream that we did for the Ace role-playing game, which was really good fun. In my daytime, when I'm employed, I am an actor, which means that I do silly voices for a job. So this is basically a shoe-in for me, really. I will be playing Yanis, or Jan for short, if you're friends, which according to him, almost everybody is. So he is a totally scrupulous and very well-mannered and polite and not at all concerning individual who is an honest and true representation of Mishkal, the Blue Lady, who is one of the gods of the setting.
And finally, we have Virginia.
Hi, I'm V. I've been here before. I got to GM a game of the Ace system here on EM World, and I do too many things in tabletop RPG stuff. But today I'm playing Magia, a Minotaur Mariner sorcerer, who is the twin sister of Yanis. And it's going to be, I haven't played a sorcerer in such a long time, and I'm really looking forward to it.
It's going to be fun. So, for those who are familiar with the original Dragonlance story, either this module or the Dragonlance novels in the 1980s, there will be some changes. Don't expect it to be exactly the same. For various reasons, we've made a few changes. Also, for those who are not familiar with the Dragonlance world, I just want to go through a couple of very, very brief setting points just to set the scene. So, the world is kind of a post-apocalyptic world. 300 years ago, fiery mountain smashed into the world and rebooted civilization, which has now, rebuilt itself into new countries and new places. Since that event 300 years ago, there have been no gods. So no one in the world has seen clerical magic, genuine clerics, or healing magic of any kind. Also, nobody has ever seen a dragon. Dragons are supposedly children's stories. Maybe they existed like 3,000 years ago. Maybe they didn't. Some people think they did. Some people think it's fairy tales. But nobody has ever seen a dragon. And I think probably that's enough just to get you going. They're the two big sort of setting conceits. And with that, I think we can jump right in. So we are outside of a small village called Solace. It's a tree village. All of the buildings are up in the trees, wooden buildings up in the trees. They're big tree houses. These trees are massive, massive trees. They're called Valenwood trees. If you think of those, what are the trees in California? Redwoods. They're like that. They're massive, massive trees. So entire houses quite happily sit up in the branches. You're about, let's say, 4 or 5 miles out of town. Now, there's a crossroads about 4 or 5 miles out of town, and 2 groups are coming down this crossroads. One group is Constance, which is Jessica's character, a tall, knightly figure.
Mm-hmm.
And Constance is accompanied by Royce, a tiefling rogue, coming down one branch of the crossroads. At the same time, coming down another branch of the crossroads, we have Yanis, who is a Kender. I'm sure people know what a Kender is, but if not, they're going to find out. A Kender dressed in clerical robes. Now, of course, clerics generally, people don't believe in divine magic. So generally, clerics are kind of chancers. They're kind of charlatans. It's all trickery. It's all fakery. We'll see. Yanis is accompanied by Magia, a minotaur, who has a big staff, a claw holding an orb. And you meet at the center of this crossroads all at the same time. Does anybody say anything?
Well, when we get to about 20 feet away, I'll go, Royce! It's Royce! I'll sort of elbow Magia in the in the thigh, because that's about how the thigh happens. Royce! It's Royce!
What? Huh? And Magia will just call out the really loud voice, and she's a tall, imposing figure, just shouts out with her hands around her mouth, Royce!
Royce! Royce, it's us!
I can see you. Yeah, hey.
Friends of yours, I
Magia
presume?
Who isn't a
jumping up
friend
and
of
down.
mine? Yeah, we did some running around a little bit ago, but you know me. I always make new friends. I'll introduce you. Come on.
Okay.
So, hi. How have you two been doing, by the way?
Well, when did we last see? When was that, Magia? When did we last see? Oh, was it before or after the roc's nest? The giant, the eggs. Was that?
I think that was before. I think it was before. Yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah.
I had that. Yes, I had that big thing stuck in my shoulder. Yes, you're right. Did I have a thing stuck in my shoulder when we last saw you, Royce? Was that? It's sort of like a claw, not really a claw. And there was all this black goop coming out. Was that?
No. That wasn't me. I had nothing to do with that one.
No goop, no black goop. Okay, right. I can't. Come on, we can make this out. We can make this
The
out.
fire,
Kind of
that was me.
not really noticed Constance in this point.
Yeah, I'll step forward and go, well, I'm pleasure to meet you. Any friend of Royce is a friend of mine. My name is Constance, at your service.
At your service. She said she's not our service.
So you notice Constance is wearing a breastplate, which is emblazoned with the symbol of the Knights of Solamnia. Now, you'll know what the Knights of Solamnia are. They're a sort of order of knights, big on the code and the measure. Their motto is, my honour is my life. That will pretty much tell you most of what you need to know about Constance. The Knights of Solamnia are not well regarded because most of Krynn blames them for not saving them from the cataclysm 300 years ago. A somewhat unfair situation to be in, but that is how it is.
And Magia, entirely unsubtly, because she's so much taller than Yanis, or like as if she's whispering back, but it's not really working out. I think she's one of those knights. And like nudges you, but she's kind of more like brushing the top of your hair, like your hair with her elbow.
Yeah. So
Yes. Sorry, you go ahead.
I'll step forward and kind of, I'm sort of looking at the breastplate, and then I'll just, not in an inappropriate area, but just like knock on it, like, is this real?
Yes.
I think that's
real. And I'll just kind of brush your hand off slightly. But yes, so it was my father's. He was a knight before me also.
Does he know you've got it?
Well, he left it to me when he died, so I presume in some way he knows.
Oh, right. There's the whole So it's an heirloom. That's the word. Sorry, property's a little bit sort of loose where we're from. So,
and I'm terribly sorry. I didn't catch your name, Royce. You didn't introduce us.
Yeah, we kind of got stuck in the talking cycle. So, this is Yanis, my resident cleric friend. And this is Magia, my resident large minotaur friend.
I
We're
see.
twins.
Sorry?
I mean, you can see the resemblance, right?
It's in the
And
eyes.
Constance looks from the short, Kenda to the
Yeah.
Minotaur.
The sight is quite striking. Like the Minotaur's what, 7 feet tall,
Yeah.
and the
she's
Kenda's
7 foot
3 feet tall, standing next to each other.
Yeah. Well, I'm a few minutes older technically, but
Oh, you always have to bring
so I
that
guess
up.
that makes. Well,
Right.
technically, I'm the big brother. All right.
I mean,
And-
yeah, well, I'm taller than you, so.
And Constance looks
Oh.
quite confused, but she's confused a lot because she has a 7 in intelligence. So she looks to Royce, kind of for an explanation.
Yeah, they're twins. But yeah, hey guys, this is Constance. She's my oldest friend. Pretty much the reason why I stay out of trouble as much as I do.
Well, I do my best, but trouble does seem to find you. Royce is a very dear friend of mine, and any friends of hers that she values, I will trust her integrity and belief in you also.
How did you? Forgive me. Sorry, I have an eclectic group of friends myself, but you two rather are chalk and cheese or chalk and seawater salt. You're very, very different. How did you actually come together?
Well, perhaps along the road we can tell our tale, Royce. Are you also going to town here?
Yeah.
I think so. Aren't we?
Yeah, so the plan was to meet at the Inn of the Last Home, which is an inn which is fairly famous. It's known all across Abyssinia, which is the region you're in. So the plan was essentially to meet there. The fact that you met at the crossroads beforehand is just serendipity.
Right. Yes, nothing like a good story to while away the many miles to the town. Let's get started, and then I'll basically the smallest member of the group will just start walking off down towards Solace.
So,
Very well.
so it's dusk. It's the sun is starting to set, and you're starting to see the moons coming up in the sky. Krynn has 3 moons, a black one, a red one, and a white one, although only those of the black-robed mages can see the black one. So you can see 2 moons in the sky, a red and a white moon, just starting to come up and start to cast their glow on the ground as you move towards Solace, which is a couple of miles away. As you do so, you hear the clippity-clop of hooves behind you, and this sort of clank, maybe of armour or something.
Magia has a moment where she's like walking and then stops, like, that's not me, is it? And like takes a few more steps and then turns around to look behind her.
Coming over the crest behind you, you see a short, sort of round pony. And on that pony is sitting what must be a hobgoblin. It's dressed in armour. Armour you don't recognise, with sigils on it that you don't recognise. It's wearing a sword, and it's coming towards you. The pony is kind of waddling its way towards you, and he peers through the gloom at you. And behind him, over the hill, you see a small squadron of goblins. There's 4 of them, walking in 2 lines, as they march along behind him. They stop, I think probably about 40 or 50 yards away from you, and peer through the gloom at you.
Magia will tap Constance on the shoulder and just lean down. Like, is this some of your lot? I don't look like your lot.
I turn and look, and I'm like, they are not of my order. Let's keep our wits about us, maybe. And I'll just, yeah.
Who you see depicted here.
Mm-hmm.
A handsome fellow, sits atop his pony and looks at you all and says, Search them! Search them for that blue crystal pendant! Find it and bring it to me! And he turns around and the pony starts to waddle back off over the hill while the 4 goblins start to move towards you, drawing their short swords. Clearly intent on searching you.
I will step forward, and I have a battle axe with me because that's the type of person Constance is. And she'll step forward, and I'll say, Sir, we have no quarrel with you. you may carry on your way in an
The-
attempt at intimidation or authority.
As you do that, the 4 goblins are kind of splitting up, so they're kind of starting to encircle you. You can make an intimidation check. Yeah, you can make a strength intimidation or a charisma intimidation, whichever you prefer.
I'll just strength one because I'm standing there with my battle axe, trying to be that. So that is 17 I got. So I'm pretty intimidating, Russ.
So the hobgoblin aboard the pony looks at you. It looks like he was possibly about to stop and sort of survey the battle, but he realizes that this might not go his way. So he sticks his spurs. Is that right? You do stick spurs into a pony? I don't know how to ride horses. He sticks his spurs into the pony. He does whatever it is people on horses do to the pony, and the pony trots off at a slightly faster waddle down the hill. Not much faster, to be honest. While the goblins kind of look at each other nervously. They don't back away. They're too scared of their orders, and they have got their swords out. But they glance at each other nervously and start to edge towards you. I'm going to give them all disadvantage on their first attacks because of their nervousness, their fear of this massive knight with a great big battle axe standing there in gleaming Solanic armor.
Yes.
With that, shall we roll some initiative?
Yes.
So, normally in Level Up Advanced 5th Edition, initiative can be anything. It can be any ability check, it could be any skill check. Today, we're just going to go with the usual sort of standard dexterity check, but it could be something else.
Okay, I got a 15.
This is very loud.
What?
I got a 7.
You're doing great.
It turns out being a 7-foot tall minotaur is not good for being agile.
The goblins are on 17.
I got a 21.
Hey!
Oh, wow.
There we go.
Here we go.
I got an 18.
Ooh, fast.
Wow, that's a pretty dexterous party. All right, I'll put the initiatives on the screen so that we and the people watching can see
them.
what's going on. So here we go.
Okay. So, first of all, we have, I believe, Royce at 21. Royce, the goblins are probably 15 feet away from you now. They're kind of in a square formation around the 4 of you.
I think I'm going to go towards the one who's closest to me.
Okay.
And, I'm not going to use my dagger because that's normally if I'm getting the jump on them versus the other way around. So I'm going to reach for my sword. Words are hard today. Right up
Like a
my
tiny
top.
lance, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to reach for my sword, and I'm going to just try to go for a simple slash across the chest.
Okie dokie. Let's make that roll.
Oh boy. Okay, so that was a 8 to hit.
An 8. Yeah, this goblin was slightly shorter than you anticipated in the gloom. Perhaps a shadow kind of made you think it was slightly taller than it actually was. And your short sword just kind of swings straight across its head, maybe like chopping a hair, maybe, but fails to connect. Is there anything else you were doing? Any bonus actions? Anything?
I think I am good for now.
Okie dokie. In that case, it will be Yanis.
So, Yanis is going to unsling this long pole from his back. It's looks a bit like a staff, but for those of you at home, it's a hoopak, which is a Kenda cultural weapon in this setting. It's basically a quarterstaff with a little sling thing on the top, so you can use it to flick rocks at people and also hit them on the head. And as he slips a little bullet into the pouch at the top, he's going to look up at his sister and say, "Why does this always happen whenever we meet Royce?" And then he's going to spool up and racket ball
The nearest goblin.
a sling bullet at the nearest goblin.
Okie dokie.
And because it's dark, with a total of 7, he's definitely going to miss.
Oh no! This is not going well. 2 misses in a row. The goblins are starting to feel slightly more confident now. You're not quite as fearsome as maybe they thought you might be. And it's their turn.
Oh no.
They glance at each other. One of them points at your hoopak, Janus, because tied to your hoopak you have a blue crystal stone of some kind, do you not?
No, don't look at that. That's nothing. Look over there. Look.
And then all 4 goblins just charge in and each try to attack one of you each. Now they have disadvantage because they are deathly afraid of Constance. So you'll probably be okay, but we'll see. So we'll start with Constance. Constance, what is your armor class? Your class of armor, please.
My classing of armor is, and I'll tell you now, it's 13.
Okay. Well, is 13 more or less than 3?
I have intelligence 7, so right.
I'll tell you that 13 is more than 3, which means that
Right.
the goblin completely misses you. He swings his short sword in a big overhand swing and just swings it straight at your breastplate, but he did not anticipate the strength of that slammed steel. And it just goes bang, vibrating the entire goblin, and his teeth chatter and his eyes widen slightly. He was definitely right to be afraid of you.
Yes.
Okay, next we have, let's go with Royce, shall we? Royce, your class of armor?
15.
Oh, we've got a hit, I'm
I
afraid.
do have a question.
Hmm.
Sword is sword. I don't know. I can't say this. Is
This is a word.
is a parrying weapon, so I
Right.
can use an expertise die against it. Is
Yes,
that
so
possible?
you can roll a d4 and add that to your armor class.
Beautiful. Look at me reading the notes. Okay, that is a 19 then.
A hit which would have slipped into your ribs with this sneaky goblin, which is a little sneaky sidestep, and they try to slip his short sword into your ribs. At the last second, with your own, you sort of swing around and just parry the blow aside with consummate skill. That was impressive. So, Janus, your class d'armor.
It's 14 at the moment.
This is going to be, I'm afraid, another hit.
Can I also? My weapon has
Staff?
parry as
Is
well.
it parrying? You may do the same thing.
Lovely. Where's me? Oh no, where's my? Oh, there's me.
People.
The sound of rattling dice. That's now an 18.
That's good enough. Just about, you managed to use the fork at the end of your hoopak just to catch that short sword as it comes in, and just twist it aside, and the blade just kind of like grazes your ribs and cuts your tunic ever so slightly, but you remain unharmed. And then finally, we have got Magia. Your
I have an
armor
armor
class.
class. 9.
I did just roll 2
9.
twos. So
He's unarmored.
well, she's a sorcerer as well. So that is just a wild miss, a complete and utter miss. I think, when you're attacking a 7-foot Minotaur, you tend to play it a little cautious, especially on your first attack. And I think the goblin kind of went for you, but didn't
Stabs a hoof at him.
quite get close enough. Yeah, couldn't quite reach from where it was. Okay, in that case, I think it is now Constance's turn.
Yes. I'm gonna do stuff and things. So if I'm right, there's like multiple of them going to attack Janus.
No, you got
Is
one
that right?
each. No, you got one each.
Oh, we still got one each.
You got one each.
Oh, okay. I'll deal with the one in front of me then. So
Okay.
I'm gonna get my battle axe out and just go to hit them.
Okay.
With it unceremoniously, whilst they're still vibrating off my shield. So I'm aiming to try and sweep them off their feet to the side, and not in a romantic way. And I got a natural 20.
Oh,
so
wow.
I
think we can safely say that was.
I just started the campaign that way. So yes.
Right, so in Level Up Advanced 5th Edition, critical hits work slightly differently. You roll your damage as normal, and then you double everything.
So I got 1d8 plus piercing damage is what I've got here. So 3. Oh, so I only got like 3, so I double it and I do 6. It feels less epic than I wanted.
Yeah, 6 is not terrible. The battle axe slams into the goblin's short sword, and I think you probably broke the goblin's arm with that massive swing because it lets out a yelp and staggers back. It's like ah, ah, and switches the short sword over to its other hand.
Okay.
It's got a slight look of panic in its eyes now.
Good. It feels the wrath of my righteousness.
Your righteous wrath.
Yes, and then I can't use my dash because I've used my attack. I can't use my desperate dash then because that's a dash action, isn't it?
I take your word for it.
I think it's dash action, so I can't use that here. So
Okay.
I'm going to stand my ground against this and just generally look intimidating to everybody else
Okay.
and hope people noticed how well I did.
Okie dokie. In that case, it is now. Whose turn is it now? Magia's turn.
I think Magia is going to this gigantic form of a minotaur bends down,
And the goblin sort of goes.
and she's just going to go in straight with a horn attack. She's not bothering to spellcast with these tiny
Okay.
little things,
Okay.
and she's going to go in with a horn attack.
Okay.
That is. Oh, I'm rolling horribly. That's a 10.
You're all rolling horribly right now. There's something going on here. There's something in the air. Yeah, I mean, you're very tall. The goblin's very short. It's quite hard to headbutt a 3-foot tall creature when you are in fact 7 feet tall. So, I mean, you give it your best shot, but it was a long shot right from the start. Was there anything else you were doing?
Not particularly in terms of anything that has an effect, but I think she probably, in trying to like catch one of them with her horns and then missing, because these things are much more nimble than she is.
Yeah.
She's big and stompy. She just lets out a swear in Colthian, which
Yes.
probably only Yanis can understand.
Yeah. Language of the Minotaurs. Okay. Voice, it's your turn.
My turn?
Mm.
Perfect. I'm going to go with another short sword. Short
We're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to get
short
there.
sword.
You
All
can
right,
get
I'm
this
gonna
by
go
the
for
end
another
tonight. We
short
believe
sword.
in you.
Oof, I got it. I'm going to go for another
Sword of shortness. How about that?
I'm terrified of the word now. I'm going to go with another sword attack. It's fine. Look, I can't say it, but I can swing well. That was a 22 to hit.
Yes. Perfect shot.
Okay. And then it's a d6 of damage, correct?
Yep.
Beautiful. That's 3. Let me make sure I don't have to add anything because math is hard.
That's hard.
Yep,
Probably strength.
Yep, plus another 3. So 6 slashing damage total.
6 damage.
Nice.
You slash the goblin across the chest, and the goblin steps back, wounded. Blood, green blood, starting to drip down its chest. It grabs a short sword with both hands and holds it in front of itself, kind of like, shaking ever so certainly, kind of looking, because you present quite a fearsome form with your horns probably silhouetted against the red moon behind you. And the goblin's kind of starting to back away ever so slightly. It wasn't really signing up for this. So next, I think we have Yanis is next.
So stood the hoopak. It's just a nice word to say, isn't it? Hoopak.
It's a good one.
With it kind of poised like that, eye to eye with the goblin, and then both our eyes flip to the amulet, and I go, "Okay, I lied. Yes, I do have it." Bang! That's a natural 20. Superb.
Oh, okay, double that damage.
Fabulous news. Right, what am I? Oh, cool. Yeah, so that is a 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Would you like to describe exactly how you dispatched this goblin?
So I go, yes, I do have. Yeah, all right, I do have the amulet, and the goblin's looking at it, and then while it's staring at the amulet, like, bonk, right around the jaw, its head spins round. Not completely, that would be horrible, but it just
It
goes
flies
round.
like, spins round and flies like 3 feet through the air.
Little birds fly around its head. It goes,
Aw.
hits the deck.
Oh, poor little goblin. I feel sorry for it.
I do not.
No, I don't really. Okay, it's now the goblin's turn. So one goblin is down, 2 are wounded, and one of them, as yet, has not been harmed. So, Constance, the goblin fighting you, you have broken its arm, and it has switched hands, and is now wielding that short sword with the wrong hand. It will still be at disadvantage. And it rolls very, 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 very badly, kind of swings ineffectually with the wrong hand at you, with this kind of weak blow, which, to be honest, you barely even have to dodge. You barely have to do anything. Like,
Do I just casually step back?
yeah, you can contemptuously. Yeah.
Okay.
No effort required whatsoever.
Okay.
Sue, Magia, your opponent has not yet been injured. Starting to get a little bit more confident now. Swings at you with a short sword. Just from its height, it's kind of be a sort of like midriff. Just swings across like this in an attempt to just like disembowel you with one blow. What was your armor class?
9.
No.
That is a solid hit straight through your. You're wearing robes, or
Yeah.
yeah, cut straight through your robes, straight across your midriff, doing. Ouch! That will be 4 points of damage. That probably hurt.
That did. She swears out loud again and looks down and just roars out, I liked these robes.
Okay, we have one against Dare. This one is wounded, is looking nervous, looking up at this sort of tiefling with horns silhouetted by the red sun. I think, again, I'm going to give this one disadvantage because of that, because it is a unusual and terrifying sight. And it rolls a 16. What was your armor class, Dare? I think we've lost Dare. Dare appears to have frozen. We'll move on and get back to that in a second. So that leaves the one on Jack. On Jens.
I knocked mine out, didn't I? Knocked him out.
You knocked him out. You're fine, yes. There isn't one on you. There's not one on you. So next we have got Constance.
Yes. So I got one in front of me. It's got a broken arm that's flailing. So I'm gonna just try and put it out. It's misery, really. So another swing of my axe to just try and knock it out the park in the other direction. So if I went that way last time, I'm going this way this time.
Okay.
So just hit it with a big axe. Just be a knight. Great fun. You're going to think I'm lying if I say I have a natural 20 again. I'm actually not. Like,
Okay.
I don't know how I can, like, prove this to you, but it's right there.
We trust you, Jess.
Excellent. By my honor as a knight. I like this dice today. Okay, so I got a natural 20, so that's like a 24 to hit.
Yeah.
So I will try again.
Double that damage.
I will double the damage. So I rolled. So that's 10 this time. That's better.
10. Tell me how this goblin meets its grisly end.
Excellent. Cool. So I swing the other way, and I think I hit it so hard it kind of lifts up off the ground and kind of goes, Mah! And this lands on the side.
Sorry,
we have a
what
regular
noise,
have an action?
what noise does it make? Sorry, could you just repeat that for us?
Yeah, one more time.
Just so we know.
Yeah. Do you not think? I think
Which
that's what it makes.
Which I think is
So-
a traditional goblin word, meaning I go to the same place as my ancestors before me.
Yes,
I
it's
don't
traditional.
know what's happening to my internet today. It's being very mean.
That's fine. So there, one swung at you and got a 16, but that have hit you.
Well, I can parry, actually.
Okay.
To parry. The goblins are trying to take me out.
Oh no!
Oh no.
No, we've lost air again.
Right at the moment where we were going to find out if they parried as well. That's...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
well, this is a. Oh, hang on.
Here we
Damn.
I got a 19.
Hey, you're safe.
Yay!
You carried
Hear you
it.
that
You're
time.
safe. The suspense was killing us. The anticipation. So, where were we? I've totally lost track where in the initiative order we were. That was goblins.
It's Magia
I think
next.
it's me
isn't it?
next.
Yeah, I had just gone, yeah.
Yes, okay. Magia is next.
So how many there's like 2 goblins left, right?
There are 2 goblins left there. One in front of you, uninjured, and one in front of Dare, which is injured.
Can Magia just pick up the goblin in front of her?
Magia can certainly try.
Just grab him by
Yeah.
the scruff of his neck and hold him up.
Okay, so for this,
She's
we
just
need to
gonna-
know your maneuver DC, which will be on your character sheet. This is what you use for combat maneuvers, which include grapples, grabs, and things like
It is 12.
12. So the goblin is going to make a saving throw against your maneuver DC. The goblin has rolled 4.
Hey!
+1 for its dexterity. It rolls 5. Yes, you can pick up the goblin. The goblin is now grappled.
She picks up the goblin and just like brings him up towards her face, but far enough away that he can't, slash
Yeah,
her
okay, yeah.
sword. Just looks at him,
Yeah.
looks around at the 2 dispatch goblins,
Mm-hmm.
and in almost like a eerily quiet voice for a creature of her size, just looks at him and goes, "Go away," and just throws him.
He's yeeting,
Nice.
yeeting the
Just like
goblin.
burning eyes. She's upset about the robe. She really likes her robes. They're silky and nice. And it's
So the
just like,
goblin lands about 5 feet away on the floor, scrambles to its feet, looks around panicked. 2 of its friends are dead. His boss has disappeared off over the hill on a pony. And you guys look quite formidable. He's definitely having second thoughts. He looks at his friend. His friend looks at him. His injured friend looks at him. They both lock eyes. They both shake their heads. And then they both make for the hills. You can have opportunity attacks against them if you wish, or you can let them go.
I'll fling a half-hearted bullet after them, and I try and catch one of them in the ankle or something like that, just to really go for them.
Go for it.
Not really intending to do any damage, really. 15?
It's going to hit. This is where you actually kill by mistake.
No, I'm not.
If I hit you in the ankle.
No, it's just 1 point of damage.
Just 1 point of damage. Okay, so it glances off the goblin's ankle and it lets out. What was the noise that goblins make again, Jess? That noise. And then it continues to limp off over the hill.
Yeah.
Anyone else attempting to do anything, or are you going to let them go?
I'm
fine.
gonna raise up my longbow, and I'm not gonna shoot it, but I'm just gonna keep it tracked to them in case they come back.
Okay, so they run off up over the hill, over the rise of the hill. They stop at the top of the hill briefly, look back at you, look at each other, and then clearly just make an agreement just to scarper, and they both just bolt over the hill, out of sight, across the brow of the hill, leaving you standing there in the road. A couple of you a little injured, but victorious.
Is anybody hurt?
Maggie is instantly overbearing little sister, just being like, "Are you okay?" And just like
Yes,
puts
I'm-
her hands
I'm
on your
fine,
hair and
I'm fine. Get off. Don't embarrass me in front of the Salamnian. Stop.
picks up, like just holding it up off of the string it's on. And what is this?
Wow. It's just
Huh?
a decorative. It's
Uh-huh.
a nice thing that I
Uh-huh.
found. I told you I went in the cave, and I told you I found it. I just maybe didn't explain what it is. If it is what it is, of course.
I mean, I think it is what it is, whatever it is, because they seem to think that it is what it is, whatever it is.
Well, if
You can't blame
It
this
is.
one on Royce. This one is your fault, Jan.
all right, I take it back. Look, if it is what they think it is, and it is what they think it is, then it is something important.
Do you know what it is?
Somebody told me. It's this image here. It's wrapped around. It's like really crudely tied on just below the fork where the sling is.
It's made of some kind of blue crystal, and it's got an ever so slight faint glow right in the centre of it.
I
Don't make me pick you up like I did that goblin, Jan.
all right. Okay, I point at the rift in Magia's robes. I say, just hold that open for a minute.
She holds it. This is not going to fix these silks. I'm going to have to get these rewoven. It's going to be a mess.
And then it lights up. The amulet gives off this brilliant, beautiful blue glow. I assume. Sorry, maybe I should let Morris describe that.
Yeah.
And Yanis's eyes kind of filled with the same kind of blue light. It's almost like he's lit from within. Like his whole skin seems to glow with this kind of inner blue light.
Machir is not immediately impressed by this. She's just like, okay, you can make things glow.
And then the wound just seals up for 3 points of damage. So mostly seals.
She pokes at it. Yeah.
And then just because I've got it, I do have it prepared. I'm also going to cast Mending and fix the robes as well. And then he heals the wound, and that's kind of amazing. And then he just like jerks it to the side a little bit, and like almost putting like, you know, when a scanner moves across a piece of paper, it's like that, and the robe just seals up. And then
is your friend a charlatan, a trickster?
No.
No, this is like mostly, and she walks up to Constance and like takes her hand, pokes at it. That shouldn't happen.
No, this is altogether new, if I'm honest.
You have been unable to do this before?
Not until
You can say that I'm more the magical twin.
Well,
I've always been the one with the sparkling personality, you see.
Well, forgive me, but this magic has not seen for hundreds of years since the gods left.
No, I know that, and so I'm pretty sure it is what I was told it is and what they think it is, which is some sort of genuine artifact of the Blue Lady, Mishakal.
It is real?
He kind of flicks the amulet a little bit. Seems real, doesn't it?
Maybe you shouldn't flick the magical amulet, though. Let's not accidentally make a crack or something.
No, kind of tilts it away from himself so it doesn't damage it any further. Look, I'll explain everything, but it's getting a bit dark and there might be more of them coming. Perhaps we should make haste to Solace.
Yes, we must. I will. Yeah. March on. I will go behind you and keep you safe. Keep it hidden. Maybe they'll, and that's what they came for, to take from you.
Yes. So it would
hide it under your jacket, maybe, and not so out in the open in your hand.
But it's so pretty.
I'm gonna have to teach you how to like hide something.
Sorry.
Oh, fine. Then I'll wrap something around it to keep it hidden.
Okay. So it's getting dark now, and the moons are higher in the sky. The sun has completely gone. Solace is perhaps a mile away. You can see the Valen Woods from where you are because they're massive, massive trees. And because it's dark now, you can see the lights of the actual town up in the branches of the trees. It's a gorgeous sight. It's beautiful. It's like twinkling lights in the trees, and it's a really picturesque, lovely town. It's a welcoming, calm, peaceful, pastoral town. And you're probably really looking forward to like getting to the end of the last home and sitting down and having a nice plate of spiced potatoes and maybe an ale or two in the warm in front of the firelight. Sounds lovely. So, safe to assume you're heading that way.
Yeah, let's go to the pub.
As we head off, I'll kind of look at Major and say, "Did you call that goblin the son of a motherless goat?"
Might have slipped out.
What would Mum say? And then
probably something worse, to be honest.
Yeah. So you'll make your way into town without any further events. As you enter Solace, you sort of come into the sort of the town square, which is more kind of like just a big clearing on the ground. Almost every building is in the trees. There's only one really that isn't, and that's the local smithy. Because obviously you can't really stick a forge up in the trees and set fire to entire Valenwood trees. So the smithy's on the ground near the base of a large Valenwood tree, and you can see a large dark-skinned man, still working away there, even as the hour grows late. You've been to Solace before. You recognise him. His name is Feros Ironfeld. He's a skilled smith and well liked in the town. And as you walk in, he just like a quick nod, friendly smile.
Mm-hmm. I will just nod back at him because I imagine he's fixed my armor up or sorted something out for me in the past.
Almost certainly in the past, yeah. Yeah. He's a generous man, and he really cares for everybody around him. So the Inn of the Last Home is up above the tree. There's a wooden staircase which winds up and up and up around the tree. It probably would take you sort of like 4 or 5 minutes to get up there. It's that high. You can see it from where you are, and you can hear the music and the voices and the clink of glasses. You can see the firelight glinting in the windows from up there. It sounds, and you can smell the smell of like the spiced potatoes that it's famous for. Delicious spiced potatoes, and your mouths are watering. It sounds delicious.
So, shall we get a table here, and perhaps you can tell us your tale, Giannis?
Sounds good. I might need a wine or an ale to wet my lips. The stories always come easier to me when I'm...
Well, that's good. Just like tradition back in the days with Royce, the person who causes the trouble buys the drinks.
I was waiting for this part.
I'll go to the bar.
This is true. Royce does this with me. I have yet to buy a drink.
You don't have to tell everybody that. It's fine. I'm just so charitable. You understand?
Yes, I do love your very giving nature. You always seem to have coin, and I'm not sure how.
Well, I could tell you this one story.
Which one? Which story?
Back at the port town, that time that we met up, when I came back from that little short voyage and the tavern.
Yeah,
oh,
the sailors
that was
are still mad about that one.
I might still be barred.
Yeah, we're not allowed back there for a while.
Yeah.
Royce, I don't know how you get yourself in so many misunderstandings. You know, such an honest and charitable person. I don't know how trouble finds you so often.
That's what I'm saying. The world just... I have a face that people just find mischievous for some reason.
It must be that.
Now she has a face like she's recalling this entire event in her mind's eye, and it just says that Royce was definitely the one that started it.
Always. So the inn is crowded. It's completely packed, like up to the rafters. It's hard to find a spot, and you end up having to sort of crowd in a corner near the fireplace. Also sitting near that fireplace, you see a middle-aged man. He's dressed in blue robes with the symbol of the Seekers on those robes. Now, the Seekers are based in Haven, which is the capital town about a day's travel away. And they're kind of like the religious authority of the region. Because the old gods left 300 years ago, numerous new religions have sprung up over the next 300 years. None of them have portrayed any actual clerical magic or proved themselves able to do any miracles or proven any evidence of their gods, but people sometimes still believe them, and the Seekers are the local religion, the local new god religion. And this man, he's a theocrat, the high theocrat of Haven. He's sitting there. He's clearly had a few drinks already, and he's looking quite surly as he kind of glares around the room at the many people who are drinking merrily in the inn. Also, you see an elderly man, an old man in robes, another man in robes, big white beard, probably Gandalf, an actual Gandalf, you see, in sitting near the fire. He's got a few children sat around in front of him. He looks cheerful. He's got a sparkle in his eye, and he's got a pipe. And he's telling them stories about dragons, old gods and stuff. The theocrat is listening to this, and he does not look happy. He signals to the bar staff, and a young lady with bright red hair comes over and brings in yet another drink and says, "Don't you think you've had enough, Frederick? Don't you think you've had enough?" And he just snarls, snatches the drink out of her hand and downs it, and just looks again, staring at this old man, telling these blasphemous stories, clearly getting drunker and drunker and drunker.
Magia will, if she sees this, which I imagine she can, like over the crowd of people in here, because she's taller than all of them by over a foot, will just call across to the barmaid, like, do you want me to get him to leave?
Oh, no, not the high theocrat. Oh, he can drink what he likes, can't he, Otik? And a portly man behind the bar, he's bald with a sort of like a handlebar moustache and a big skillet spiced potato steaming kind of emerges from the kitchen, and he goes, oh yes, the theocrat, get him a free drink, that'll keep him happy. Spiced potatoes, anybody? Spiced potatoes? They do smell.
A small hand appears above the bar.
Magic can like lift you up to the hand appearing.
Kenda?
Hey,
yes.
That's my
Well
brother.
spotted.
Well, as long as you behave yourself, little one.
Oh, I aim never to.
Wait, did you say that's your brother?
Yes.
Why
You
I'm
are-
almost at shoulder height with Marja. Now I'm stood on the bar.
I don't understand. You are a minotaur.
Mm-hmm.
Well spotted.
Clearly.
The horns give it away, right?
Right, exactly. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Kenda.
Yes.
Yes.
My twin
Well
brother.
spotted. I can see your eyes are working well, sir.
Twin brother.
Yes. Then there's this long silence, because as if we're expecting a third statement from this man.
He just shakes his head. Some kind of act. I don't know. I don't get it.
They're just twins.
Puts the potatoes down and walks off back to the kitchen.
Shake my head and
Magia
adjust
stands
the
there for a
bar.
minute to make sure he's not going to come back to make any other more mean statements about her brother, and then we'll just hand potatoes off to people over the crowd.
I'll ask the barmaid for four drink. I look over. Well, actually, now I'm still on the bar. I can actually see across the crowd, and I'll gesture. Are the two of you still at the table, or are we all up at the bar?
I'm at the table and I'm kind of sitting near where the dragon stories are and kind of listening because it's the stories my mum used to tell me.
I'll gesture to you, Constance, and go.
So you're overhearing the dragon stories, and your man says, "And so Paladine, the Platinum Dragon, defeated Tarkesis with the help of Humor Dragonbane and the great Dragonlance. There we go, young children. What did you think of that story?" And they all clap and cheer, clearly having enjoyed it. And he throws up the sweets, and they all gather up the sweets and shove them in their mouths. They don't seem to have any parents around, but it's just that kind of town. Everyone trusts each other. There's not normally any trouble. The high theocrat, even drunken, from his chair, looks over and shouts, "Blasphemy! There is no Paladine. The old gods, they never existed. It is not true."
Someone shouting over there.
I'm gonna kind of go to stand up, not intimidatingly, but I'm gonna use my background feature of military bearing. So soldiers will recognize their own, and off-duty soldiers are usually willing to trade tales, gossip with you, and won't obey your orders, but they're likely to answer your questions and treat you respectfully. So I will go using this feature. I'll go up and I'll be like, "Well, I'm sure he needs nothing by it. It's just stories for the children, you know. Just I'm sure we can just let them be and let them have their fairy tales." Just trying to appease him, and because he's quite drunk and looks a bit leery.
Yeah. I mean, he's not really a soldier at all. He's a cleric.
Oh, he's a cleric. Oh, right,
Albeit
okay.
a fake cleric. And he is very, very drunk. He shoves his table over, spilling drink everywhere, and they're like a clatter, and the crowd just sort of backs away slightly. And you can see Otik and the barmaid, whose name you hear is Tika, like their eyes widen slightly, and they glance at each other nervously. As he stands up. I mean, he's not as tall as you are. He's sort of 5'10" or something. He stands up. And he's quite chunky, though. Puts his hands on his hips and says, "I am the High Theocrat of Haven, and you will not talk to me like that." The old man by the fireplace is looking over now with interest. His eyes are twinkling, and you think you can see a slight smile on his face.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna just take a step back and stand kind of between the old man, the children that are there, and this drunk yelling man, and be like, I didn't mean any offense, good sir. I'm merely just trying to suggest leave these children to their fairy tales and leave the correct, religious education for men of your stature. Trying to placate him and calm him down a bit.
The old man's eyes twinkle again, and the blue crystal pendant suddenly starts to glow so strongly that even the coverings that you've disguised it with aren't enough to hide it.
No! I'm trying to put my hands over it.
Blue light across the tavern, and the High Theocrat's eyes widen. That's it! The blue crystal pendant! The Dragonlords told us to retrieve it, and we shall!
Sir,
And I'm going to put my hand on his shoulder and I'll be like, well, I think everybody should just try and calm down, and I'm just going to try and, I'm assuming it's not going to work, but that's what I'm doing. So I'm trying to kind of body block a bit.
Gods! He starts shouting at the top of his voice. Otik and Tika look at each other nervously, and they don't know what to do. This guy is shouting loudly for the guards. The crowd is just gone silent. The crowd doesn't know what to do either.
I point at the High Theocrat and say very loudly, "That man is buying the next round of drinks for everyone."
Yeah. The old man is smiling now. And you hear the clatter of footsteps on the stairs outside.
I'll take care of the guards.
Of armor. Are you moving to the doorway?
I'll head towards the guards.
Okay, so they're coming up the stairs. It's the spiral staircase.
Royce
They're probably about halfway up at this point.
Look at Masha. We're almost on eye level. Back door?
As you look down, it looks like there's about 12 of them, Royce. A whole squadron of guards. Your instinctive evaluation of the situation is that you may be too outnumbered here. I mean, you're welcome to stay and fight if you wish, but you feel...
The plan was never to fight.
Right, okay.
Oh.
Excuse me, what seems to be the problem, officers?
The guards rush up and they glance at you, and one of them roughly tries to push you aside. Would you like to make a save against his maneuver DC?
Absolutely.
So this will be, you can use it dexterity or strength, depending on how you avoid it.
I'm using dexterity.
Okay.
Yeah, let me try to save out of it. I'm just going to simply try to, I think, be slippery, and that's a 15.
A 15. So the guard goes to shove you aside, and to be honest, if you succeeded, you'd probably have tumbled down the stairs and taken a nasty fall, but you managed to grab hold of a railing, swing yourself around slightly, and catch yourself before you fall, as the guard just disregards you and just rushes past into the tavern. That was pretty rude and brusque. That was not pleasant at all.
I'm okay. What seems to be the problem? There's a bit of a drunken disorderly happening upstairs.
From inside, you can hear the High Theocrat shouting, "Guards, seize them! Then they have the blue crystal pendant! Grab them now!"
Jump down behind the bar and start trying to ferret my way into some sort of back room, into the kitchen or something like that.
Find yourself by Tika's feet. And she looks down and whispers, "Through the kitchen, trapdoor, down the road, quick, before the guards see you."
I look back after me at Magia. I'm like, I don't say anything, but I'm gesturing like, "What you?" Okay, I'm going. And then I ferret away through the kitchen.
Okay. What's everybody else doing?
Can Magia see Royce having this conversation with the guards?
Yeah, probably at the doorway. Yeah.
Magia will probably more bulldoze through the crowd because she's got zero grace, and just be like, "Yeah, it looks like he's had a bit too much to drink, and you know what people get after a few. It's a bit embarrassing, really. You probably should get him out of here before he really makes a fool of himself." She's trying to convince him that he is just drunk and only making himself look bad, and as guards
Should
that are
make
supposed
a-
to, protect this kind of thing should.
So I have to make a persuasion check.
Yes.
Now it's going to be at disadvantage because you are basically trying to persuade him about his own boss.
Can
so
I
it's going to be a difficult one.
can I assist? Because I'm standing in front of the drunk guy, like trying to actively calm him down.
Mhm.
So can I assist by like being like, okay, if you just sit down, just like adding to the scene. So when they glance over, it looks like a really drunk man is trying to be handled by a soldier.
Sure.
don't know.
Yeah, Maggie is trying to play off like Constance trying to calm him down, and Royce being like, "There's just a disorderly thing going on in here. No big deal."
So, Constance, what are you using? Are you using diplomacy, using persuasion, or intimidation?
I think I'm gonna go with persuasion.
Okay.
I can do persuasion as well if you want me to do the same as the.
Okay. So what will happen is Constance will grant Magier an expertise die.
Okay.
So in Advanced 5th edition, an expertise die is an extra d4 you get to roll. If you get multiple expertise dice from different things, instead of getting multiple d4s, what happens is that die increases in size. So if you had 2 expertise die, it would go from a d4 to a d6, then to a d8, and so on. Cool. So at the moment, you're getting an extra d4 to your roll.
And I'm adding
you
my
are
charisma
rolling,
to this?
You are rolling with disadvantage, remember.
Yeah.
The dog is drinking out a water bowl somewhere in the
I was
background.
like,
that would be my
I'm
dog.
glad that they're having they sound like a 30-year-old girl.
So I don't have proficiency in this, so it's just adding my charisma, right?
Right. Yeah.
I like to imagine that is the actual dog in the pub.
Roll.
Yeah, we'll assume there's a dog in the pub having a drink out of a bowl.
Yeah.
That's an 8 in total with the expertise.
Oh no!
Unfortunate. The guards not only don't accede to your request, they pretty much just ignore you completely, pushing in and start looking around while the High Theocrat says, "The Kenda has. Where you gone? Where's the Kenda?" Would you like to make a stealth check at advantage? Yes.
I'd love to. That would make me. Nothing would make me happier.
Yeah.
Right.
The crowds make it a lot easier.
That is a 15. Yes, 15.
Okay. So you find yourself in a kitchen, and Otik is there, having put down a tray of spiced potatoes. He lifts up the trapdoor for you, and you can see a rope hanging straight down, all the way, like 300 feet down, all the way down the tree to the ground. He just quick.
There's a moment of kind of like, why are you? And then I just shrug. Is there a towel, like a tea towel or anything, hanging anywhere, like a kind of rag? I'm going to grab it and put my hands around it so I can just slide straight down the rope so it doesn't burn my hands. So I'm just going to.
Right, yeah. Do you want to make a quick athletics climb check?
Yes. Depending on how
Let's go with athletics and dexterity, or athletics or acrobatics. You can use either, and dexterity, I think.
Fabulous. I don't think I'm actually. Yes, that's 13.
Yeah, easy enough. So you start to slide your way down the road using your makeshift tea towel style thing, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Do those things have a name? I don't know.
We'll think of it.
Okay. Royce, what were you doing now? Because you're still in the doorway. Oh, have we lost Royce again?
Yeah, I think she's frozen.
Okay. Constance and Magier, what are you doing?
So I'm still trying to talk and calm him down. I wonder if I can gaslight him into believing that he saw things. Gaslight gatekeep girl boss.
Okay, there we go. I'm here.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah.
Magier will make her way in towards Constance. If you're going for like trying to make him look crazy, Constance can use prestidigitation to make something kind of go blue and glowy.
Oh, okay.
I love that. Yes. So I think I'm gonna
go
do
for
like
something that was at the bar near where Yanis was standing. That's like metallic and like maybe like a little hanging pendant or decoration they've got up, and make that look like it's glowing blue.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So what's that? Just like a cantrip you're using, or?
Yeah, she's got prestidigitation. Says it can burst of sound, sparks, or an odd odor, light or snuff flame, or color or mark an object. So I guess she could make something look like it's maybe glowing a little bit or
Yeah,
catching
okay.
the blue light or something?
So a small medallion, which Otik won as a medal for his famous spiced potatoes. Best spiced potatoes in the whole of Abnazinia. He won this medallion, and it's hanging in the kind of like the bar kind of goes around the tree. So it's sort of hanging on the tree trunk, and that starts to glow blue. And one of the guards kind of looks at the high theocracker. That crystal?
I will see this and jump on the opportunity and try and persuade and be like, yeah, could it not just be with the lighting in here? And I'll look at the guard and be like, and perhaps the amount of jovial beverages that have been enjoyed this evening, it could have been misinterpreted as such.
I think that's probably deception rather than persuade, Jess.
That's fine. I don't have proficiency in either.
I'm equally terrible at both.
But let's make a roll nevertheless.
I will roll for it. It's a 13, so...
It's not awful. The guard is kind of looks half convinced. The high theocrat is not at all. The high theocrat knows what he saw. But the guards, they're kind of like, he's pretty drunk. He must have made a mistake. And they kind of sort of go through the motions doing what he says, but their heart's not in it. They don't think there's anything there. They're not really looking for the Kender now. They're just pretending to.
The guards are kind of soldiers, so could I use my military bearing feature that I tried to use earlier incorrectly on me saying that, so they'll overhear me and be more likely to believe me? Because
sure,
yeah.
Okay. One of them looks to you and goes, "Off duty, eh?"
Yeah, just enjoying a drink with some friends.
She seems like you've seen a few battles. I could see a few scratches on that breastplate of yours. Fine breastplate.
Thank you. It was my father's before me.
Oh, you don't want to sell it, do you?
No.
You sure? I can give you 2 gold for it, maybe 3.
No. Heritage,
all right.
heritage and honor of Christ.
4 gold.
Sir, I think you're misconstruing. I'm not here to get into a bidding war with you. This simply is not for sale.
All right. You drive a hard bargain. 6 gold. 6 gold for the breastplate.
If you will excuse me, I'm going to get up and just leave because I just... No. You cannot buy the clothes off my back.
He looks at his fellow guards who just shrug.
Anyway, I'm going to turn to the old man that was in the corner and I'll just be like, are you all right, sir? I hope none of this will reflect badly on you. Just telling a few tales to children.
There's no old man. Go on.
Oh, is he gone?
There's no sign of any old man there.
Oh, well, he probably left then, so that's fine. I'll go over to where Royce is to join them then.
So, were you guys aware of where the Kender went?
No.
You, as far as you're concerned, Yanis just vanished completely.
I think Magia would have seen him go out the kitchen.
Yeah, you
Okay,
did.
so you know roughly which direction. Okay.
But I'm just going over to Royce because I don't know what's happened, so I'm just like... And Royce normally fixes things when problems occur around us, so I'm going to go see her so she'll know what's going on.
Okay.
So, I think they've all calmed down. I had to tell a bit of a lie. Do you think that was an okay thing to do?
I think in this circumstance, this is the only time you should lie.
I think so too. I think, we need to protect this. I've never seen anything like it, and my father told me tales of it from hundreds of years ago. We need to. This is our duty, I believe. Yeah,
and we don't know who we can trust yet, so I think the 4 of us should stay together.
Yes,
and if hopefully you won't need to be put into a situation like that again. And if you end up having to lie, just let me do it. I'm okay
yes.
at it. I'm a storyteller.
Yes.
So. Okay. Did you see where Giannis or Magia went?
No, they were at the bar, and then I turned and they were gone. Maggie's still there and pointing because she's the tallest person in the room. Yeah,
keeping up the illusion until the guards have got this guy out and taken him home, so it doesn't just stop glowing.
She's over.
Yeah. Eventually, the high theocrat does leave, but he's convinced of what he saw, and he's staggering out of the door, kind of mumbling, "Oh, damn cleric, damn Kender. I saw that crystal. I'll get that crystal. I will get that crystal. As he starts to sort of stagger his way down there.
Saturday morning cartoon villain.
Yeah, exactly.
If it worked for those, if it worked for
Damn kids!
and they're Kender, and they're little Kender too.
So the Kenders probably reached the ground by now. The pendant has stopped glowing. He's standing on the ground. You can see Theros Eidfeld at his smithy just across the square from you. He looks over at you curiously and he looks up at the trapdoor far, far above and at the roof and then back at you and said, "Say it's just too easy, were they?"
Yes. Sometimes it's not muscularly challenging enough. Just use your legs. Sometimes you want to get a bit of an arm, and I sort of yank myself up and down on the rope a little bit. Bit of an arm.
Right.
Oh, by the way, I reach into the sort of sack that I use to carry all my worldly belongings and it jiggles everywhere I go. And I hold out some calipers and I go, "These are yours, by the way."
Oh, thank you. Where did you find them?
Oh, well, here in your smithy, of course. I just borrowed them the last time we were here. I forgot they were in my bag, and then I went on another trip around the world. So he probably got a new pair, actually, and I'll just take them back. And then while he stood there confused, I just take them back out of his hands and put them back in the blanket.
Shakes his head. And then turns back and starts to close up his shop for the night.
How are things in Solace? I say as a way of kind of moving on quickly.
Times are not good. You've heard the rumours. War in the north.
Yes.
Some even say, he glances around,
A leaning conspiratorially.
dragons.
Dragons. The next thing you'll be telling me, the gods of. Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. I look at the staff. Point taken.
Soldiers here looking for this blue crystal. They've been looking for days. Asking everyone, searching houses.
I'm holding it behind my back, but obviously it's funny because the staff is taller than I am, so the crystal actually just kind of pokes out above the top of my head, but I don't realise. I'm just there going, that is really weird. I heard about that with all the
His eyes widen slightly.
What's that all about? I swear in coffee and I tuck it under my armpit like that.
You have it.
No, I have
You have the crystal they've been looking for.
No. Shush. I'll buy all your calipers for the next.
It's fine. Look, the soldiers are coming down the stairs to the theatre. Quick, get my shop. Quick.
And
he shuts the door behind you so you can't be seen. It's close.
Take it out from under my armpit. Yes, the high theocrat.
Theocrat, yes. Hederic, high theocrat. Hederic, you know Hederic. Everyone knows Hederic. He's the high theocrat.
I'm the low nobody. Who is he?
High theocrat.
Yes, you keep saying that.
Why saying it?
Anymore. What is a theocrat and why is he the highest one?
Well, the priests of the new gods. Based in Haven. You know, the city. Haven.
Right.
Where the theocrats are.
Right. Makes more sense. Now, why didn't you just say it like that? They're the fake priests. Look,
No, don't say they're fake too loudly.
Well, I kind of look towards the door. But they are there, aren't they? They haven't got one of these. Not that it is what I'm saying it is. What I think it is.
I don't know what that is. All I know is that the theocrat has been looking for the blue crystal staff. Soldiers have been ransacking the town.
Ransacking?
They overturned my smithy just yesterday.
Which means they probably won't come and check here again. Look, we need to work out exactly what we're doing with this, me and my sister and our traveling companions. It would be really, really helpful if you could maybe go and get them from the inn and bring them down here.
Sure.
They've already searched your smithy, so they're not likely to search it again,
he
are
looks
they?
around at his smithy and he looks at you, the Kenda. And he looks around at his smithy with all the various items lying around. And he looks at you, the Kenda. And he looks around at the smithy with all the various items looking around. And he says, they're all mine. Okay?
Everything?
All of it. Everything here is mine.
All of it?
To be clear, they're not yours. They are mine.
This cooling bolt?
It's mine. It's
This
my
hammer?
cooling bolt. That is my hammer. Yes, that is my hammer.
And I'll take something off his belt directly. This chisel?
Yes! Even that chisel.
All right. I won't touch anything. All right, I'm
Nothing.
sorry inadvertently.
promise?
Yes, I promise. I give you my word as a... Oh, there's not really a lot to stake it on, to be honest. As someone that very much needs your help, when I hold out a very small hand.
Yeah. Warily shakes your hand, eyeing you suspiciously. Then shrugs, disappears out the door, and starts to make his way up the tree to where everybody else is. At this point, the soldiers have disappeared into the town square, and they're kind of like, they're spread out and they're kind of searching the village for you, just like looking behind trees and just spreading around while the high crowd just bellows, find him, he'll be here somewhere.
I'm going to stoke up the fire that he's probably letting go down so I can get a bit warm.
So you guys are all at the top of the stairs in the inn, and Theros Ironfeld, who you recognise from before, or you've probably met before, enters the pub and says, anyone here with a Kenda?
Good.
Oh, my brother.
Good.
Your...
Brother.
No, a Kenda.
Yeah, my
Oh,
brother.
did you think I said Minotaur? No, I said Kenda.
No, short little one, big wacky stick. Bag that jingle jangles as he walks all the time.
He's your brother.
Yeah, we're twins, but he's like 2 minutes older and he really loves to make a point about it.
He's your twin.
I don't know why people are so confused by this. It seems to happen a lot.
Sorry, is there something you need to say about it? Maybe we shouldn't talk too loud because, all the commotion.
Look, never mind. Your brother is down in the shop. It's hiding in the shop. Perhaps you'd like to go and join him.
Fantastic. You have told him that everything in there is yours, right?
Repeatedly.
Probably
I
won't
guess-
help, but she'll set off down the stairs.
I guess we should go with them, Royce.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Theros follows you down, but he grabs a plate of spiced potatoes on his way and tosses a gold coin in the direction of Otik Sandath, the innkeeper, who catches it deftly and nods goodbye. So you make your way down the stairs. You're all going, I take it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So into Theros's smithy to see the Kenda.
Making a Jenga tower out of iron ingots. Guys, hi.
Oh, are
It
you
falls over.
crafting something?
I was. I was just keeping my hands busy because, as I was so helpfully reminded, they tend to wander if I didn't keep them occupied. So I was just, and I'm looking at Theros going, I was just keeping them occupied. Look, they're all here. I counted them. And I point at the pile of iron ingots that's fallen over.
What's in the bag?
Which bag?
That one. No, imagine Magic is pointing at the bag that's probably behind your back.
Oh, that bag. You want to open it up here? It's got all my things in it, Maj. I pour it out bit by bit, various things. Rope.
That's mine. That's mine. And that wasn't even here. How did you get that?
Well, you left the storeroom unlocked, and I thought that if you left it unlocked, that meant that it was free game. You only pointed at all the things in here, so I assumed that everything in there was all right.
Still, no harm done.
I'll put them back, and then I start one by one ferrying.
So tell me why are the soldiers looking for this crystal of yours?
Well, this was something I was hoping Yanis could enlighten us with.
Great
What is
question.
it?
Well, if it is what I, the Hobgoblin, the Goblin soldiers, and everybody here by association think it is, it's an artifact of Mishakal, the Blue Lady, the goddess. That's what it is. No, really.
Theros looks at you askance. Like one of those old gods from like 300 years ago.
Yeah, yes, exactly. Those exact ones. And for some reason, I'll explain. And he unwraps it and kind of hefts it up and down in his hand. Maja, you remember after we'd been sailing around the coast of Broken Promises, and we came into that cove, and there was that big pillar of stone, and I said I was going to go climb it, and you said, what did you say?
I told you that was a ridiculous idea.
That was it. See, I didn't remember because I wasn't listening. And I decided I'd swim out over to this pillar, and inside there was, well, I told you, didn't I? I said there was a temple in there. I just neglected to mention it was a temple to Mishakal, who I believe in anyway, it's worth saying. And there were all these avatars and icons and all made of stone, nothing valuable really. But then at the bottom of this pool, this rock pool, there was, well, this glinting object at the bottom. And, well, I'm a fairly strong swimmer, so I took a dive, and as I took it up in my hand, something slipped. I caught my foot under a pillar, and, well, I'm sure you're aware what happens when you don't breathe underwater. I collapsed, and while I was out, I saw her, the Blue Lady. No, really, I'm not making it up. I know that Maggie will tell you that I'm prone,
crossing his arms like this now. He's
prone
shaking his
to
head.
exaggeration, but I saw her, the Blue Lady herself. She spoke to me and told me that she wanted me to bring this to her, which is ridiculous, really, because I don't know where she is for a start. And I woke up on the shore. She saved me. And
What do you mean,
whatever
bring
reason,
you to her?
well, your guess is as good as mine, Blacksmith.
Well,
I
bring you
believe
to her
him.
where?
I believe him, but only because it sounds exactly like you had to go and get yourself trapped in some ancient temple under a load of water because you were doing what I described as a ridiculous idea.
But a god saved me.
And then made you her postman to an address that you don't have.
Well, I hardly think a quest of this scale should be, degraded to that of a, simply being a courier of sorts.
There's a more pressing and important thing that you must worry about. There are currently guards ransacking the town looking for you. You need to leave.
But
Yes.
where would we go?
Well, we can start to head north. There are people in my order who've heard, whispers that the gods may return, and we've been searching. We found nothing, but maybe this is why I was meant to meet you. Maybe this is my purpose, I mean,
Did you get a vision from a god as well?
well, no, but
So sorry, I just assumed. So carry on.
but it feels like this is something very big and important, and I mean, I don't understand many things in the world. Royce explains things to me, but I am strong and I am loyal, and if this is a gift from the gods that we must deliver to them, I will do all in my power to keep you safe and aid you in your quest. And I will do the cheesy thing. She will get out her axe and put it down and kneel in front of him.
While she's there, I absolutely.
She's still taller than
Marjorie. While she does that, I absolutely look at Marjorie and Royce like.
This is why she's the best.
I lean over to Royce and go, "Is this the part where I say rise? Is that?"
Yeah.
Right.
And I will stand up.
I like flinch. I'm like, oh god, okay. Thank you. I think. Royce, any thoughts about this currently insane situation that we progressing.
For starters, I know lying very well, and I know liars very well. You are neither of those, so I do believe you. Secondly, I'm pretty lucky, so I might as well come with, because we're good at weaseling out of trouble when I'm around, and I'm not the cause of the trouble for once, so I need to revel in this.
Yeah, I mean, get those free drinks while they're going, Royce, because he's going to be buying them all of the way. Speaking of all of the way, Royce, you've been, pretty good about getting us out of towns and cities and taverns and inns and basically anywhere where we cause trouble and then we're not supposed to be in anymore.
Exactly.
Any chance you know a way out of this place? That doesn't involve us getting our heads chopped off by guards.
I suggest you head out towards the lake. Head towards Crystal Mere Lake. The guards have gone in that direction.
Are there boats there?
There should be. So on the bank.
Oh, then we are good to go.
Oh, yeah, we love boats. Yeah, we're all about boats.
Giannis, the other thing I'm going to recommend, and I cannot stress this enough, is make sure you have that tucked away somewhere securely so no one can see it. I will teach you how, if you need to hide it on your person, because that's going to get us into a lot of trouble.
Angie's going to turn to the blacksmith and be like, I don't suppose in all of your fantastic skill, she kind of gestures around the workshop, you might be able to fairly quickly whip up out of something, just a little lockbox. Don't suppose you have one of those at all, do you?
Just cast about.
We will have purchased this with our money.
Yeah, that'll do.
Then take it.
And Constance will go to give him some gold for it.
No,
For your trouble.
It's fine. Just be safe.
What's the point of having an amulet from a god if you can't shoot people? It's very pretty.
Maggie
If
will take.
this truly means the gods are returning, then perhaps times will get better. Perhaps things will change. But I suggest you not speak these words in public around here, especially not while the theocrat rules.
That is very wise.
Okay, but once everything's safe again, I am going to wear it all the time.
Right. Look, come on, get out of here before they come back. Head towards the lake. There should be some boats there. Cross the lake, and then, well, after that, I guess you're on your own. But my advice would be perhaps head towards Haven, the capital city. Maybe someone there can help. But
Yes, there may be some of my order there who could assist us. That's a good idea.
I like the sound of more people like you with big old battle axes on our side. Yanis, put that down. I imagine she spots you picking something up. This box is yours, and you can take it with you. And hands it to him. Opens up. It's like, and I know you want to wear it because it's pretty, but now you have a pretty display box to keep it in when we travel. And waits until she wants to watch him put this in here.
Drops it in the box.
okay. Fine. So it is 8:30. Let's take a break now. Everyone can refill drinks to anything else they need to do, and then when we get back, you can flee Solace, I guess. That'd be fun.
Fabulous.
Yeah. So
Sounds
let's
good.
take a break, and we're back in. How long's the break, Jess? 15 minutes.
How long do you want?
How long do people need?
10 minutes,
I'm having
good.
a wait-
Let's say 10
wait
minutes.
time.
10 minutes.
All right.
Just 10 minutes. Okay.
All right.
Okay. 10 minutes.
See you in 10.
hello, and welcome back.
Hello.
Hello.
So, allow me to place a map up for you to see. So, you're just fleeing Solace, which you can see on that map. Number one, kind of a third of the way in, down from the bottom, near the lake. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
So, you are heading towards the right, towards Crystal Lake. Haven, which is the town that Theros mentioned, you can see right on the far left, about 2/3 of the way down. Quite a way, to be honest. And normally, what you would do is you would take that circuitous road around through the mountains, all the way around. It would take quite a while. However, as Theros points out, the roads right now might not be the best place for you to be.
So by boat then, surely, because we could take the river down south and then take the river that goes west. We have sailors here with us.
That sounds brilliant. I love boats.
Who doesn't?
Okay, amazing.
So, you start to make your way through the woods to the west of Solace, pushing your way through the woods towards Crystal Valley. In the distance behind you, you can hear the soldiers back in Solace. It's not just those 12; they've got more now. They've called in reinforcements. The High Theocrat is sobered up a little bit, and he is absolutely convinced that that blue crystal is there somewhere, and he is searching that town for what it's worth. So, fortunately, you made it out of town and you're pushing your way through the woods. You're kind of going down this kind of dirt trail towards the lake. Ahead of you, you can see what appear to be 3 robed figures moving along the trail towards you. They look like maybe pilgrims or something like that. They're dressed in brown robes, like hoods covering their faces, and they're moving along slowly, sort of shuffling along slowly along the road. One of them appears to be limping. And as you come into sight, one of them calls out, "Friends, fellow travelers."
I'm gonna kind of like lean over towards Constance and say, "Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, this is highly suspect. The 3 of us, we have got various sensors that are going ping, 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 ping. You, I'm sure, thinking I need to help this person with the limp. I'm telling you now, this is very suspect.
We were attacked by goblins.
That's a lie.
How many goblins?
Many, many goblins.
Can you be more specific?
Can you help us?
I mean, we cannot just leave them. Come, and I will go to step out.
Can I make
turn
an
to Royce?
insight
I
check?
thought you trained her.
The lead pilgrim looks at you as you step forward, Constance. The Knight of Slamnia.
Yes.
Come back.
What brings you so far south?
Well, here to help those in need as much as I can. What?
Of course, yes.
What? Are you hurt? And I do have some medical skill, so I can go to do that. Oh, that's just me. I half my hit points. I will try and do a medicine. I'm proficient at medicine, so I can do like a first aid thing.
As you move towards the injured body, have you heard news of the blue crystal?
A blue crystal, you say?
It was stolen from us. Yes. Yes, from our order, our holy order, we seek it.
Right.
Have you seen it?
Well, is it your leg that's damaged, or?
Magia's gonna lean over to Royce and just be like, "So, Constance is buying the next round of drinks, huh?"
If you make some perception checks, please.
Yes, I can. I don't have that skill.
Do you have any skills at all, Jess?
Yes.
Hitting stuff. That's
I got
a skill.
5.
5. Can anyone beat 5? As Constance completely blindly carries on.
What's
Look,
the check? Sorry.
She's not smart. She's here to hit things, intimidate things, and
Is this an insight check?
It is perception.
Okay,
I
perception.
totally forgot the word there for a second. Perception.
a viewing of a thing.
I got a 19.
That's more
14.
like it. So as one of the pilgrims kind of reaches up, you catch sight of a scaly hand with talons. Now, bear in mind, on Krynn, there are no dragons, and there are also no dragonborn, because how can you have dragonborn without dragons? That's not something you'd have ever seen before.
So there's not any creatures I've seen before that have.
Scaly hands with big claws like that, no.
Do I see that with my 5 or not?
It's not you, no, only voice.
Okay.
You, with your 5, you're completely
Everything's
oblivious.
fine. Everything's fine.
I think I come bounding up next to Constance. I'm like, excuse me. I hate to intrude and ask questions that may seem a little invasive. I don't think I've ever seen somebody with the talons on the hand. I'm curious.
This is wrote down over his as a curse. Curse.
Oh, interesting. I mean, surely is that what caused your affliction currently, or how many goblins were there? And I thought with like talons it'd be easy to fight them off at least a little bit.
So many goblins, and we are mere pilgrims. Fighting is not. So at this point, you notice a clear short sword at one of their waists. As he says, fighting is not our business. That short sword doesn't look like a ceremonial short sword to you.
I see. The thing is, I'm really good at spotting a liar, and I like gesture to my swords. My short sword did it on my side. I'm like, I can tell that you may be telling us a little bit of a falsity, and I don't want this to be a fight. So maybe just come out with it.
Where is the crystal right now?
In a box in
It's
a
in the
bag.
box. In the bag.
And the one you have on your desk, Russ.
this box here. It's in this
There.
box. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And you can hear a slight humming coming from your bag. Unfortunately, no blue light is.
I just start going.
One of the pilgrims was like, "Is that nice?"
Those are my bees. I'm a beekeeper.
Yanis. And Maggia will step in front of Yanis to entirely hide his form behind hers.
The pilgrim.
What do you mean, Russ? It's just a sad man.
It's just a turn of phrase. The pilgrim.
Funny claw.
Krista, you have not seen it.
Would you like some honey?
No. No.
Then you will not mind if we look in the candy's
Yeah.
bag.
You know what? Constance, Royce, just... And she's gesturing for them to stand aside. Why don't you let these lovely travelers come and have a look?
No, that's a terrible idea. Why are you suggesting
It's fine. Please, approach.
We should let them have a look, Constance.
You just...
I step aside and do as Royce
let
tells
them
me.
pass.
Because something is happening here I don't understand.
You don't know what's going on.
No.
Got a dagger ready
Okay.
behind
Yeah.
Maggia. I've got.
The lead pilgrim kind of pushes. You still haven't seen this man or woman's face. You haven't seen. All you've heard is a voice, a slightly sibilant voice. And
Is it
they
just the
keep
one of
their-
them? approaching?
Only one's moving forward. The other
Oh,
two
no,
are
all of you, please.
So what is it you spreading
What
out
are
in
you
order
doing?
to?
Magia's going to thunder wave them as soon as
Right.
Constance and Royce have moved out of the
Okay.
way and they've
Okay.
approached. As soon as they're within that 15 feet, she's going to stamp her hoof and just send them flying.
So they move forward, slowly, cautiously. And Royce, you see that the one who had the short sword, or the short sword that you saw, you can see a scaly hand is on that short sword. They move forward within about 15 feet, so 12 feet, 10 feet.
As soon as they get to like the solid 15 feet where she knows it's going to hit them, she's going to shout at Royce, "You remember that time in the bar at the port?"
Yes,
And she's
I
going to
do.
stamp her hoof and cast Thunder Wave and just knock them flying.
Okie dokie. How does Thunderwave work?
So I create a wave of thunderous force, damaging creatures and pushing them back.
Mhm.
I think this is a saving throw.
Okay.
They take half on a successful Constitution saving throw and don't get pushed.
Lovely. What is the DC of the saving throw?
My spell DC is 13.
13. Okay, they've got +1. Here is my trusty D20. The first one has rolled a 5. +1 is traditionally 6. That is a fail. Second one has rolled a 16.
That's
+1 is
pass.
17. That's a pass. And a 1. Huh. So we got 2 failures and a success. And how much damage
So
does the
it is
Thunderwave do?
2d8.
Ooh, it's a lot of damage.
So that's going to be 6, 7, 8, 9 thunder damage. And the ones that failed are pushed 10 feet away.
Okay, so you stamp your hoof on the ground and it's kind of like, is it like Hulk style? And then
Yeah, it's also the spell effect. The thunderous boom is audible out to 300 feet.
right, okay.
Yeah,
Slight-ish,
a little bit
okay.
loud, but
Yeah.
it does knock at least 2 of them flying.
Okay.
And hopefully
So-
knocks those hoods down.
Okay, so 2 of them go flying, and yes, the hoods do come down to reveal scaly, lizard-like faces as they tumble to the floor. The other one staggers back a bit, slightly wounded, not nearly as wounded as the others. Now let me see if I have a picture of them. These are very, very tiny pictures, and I can't actually see which is which. Bear with me 1 second. There we go. So they stand back. You can see that scaly faces, they've got claws, they've got short swords, and they do not look happy. Let's roll initiative.
Okay. What kind of
Oh my
initiative roll are we doing?
I think in this case, again, it's going to be a dexterity check. There's nothing funky going on here.
Lovely. Someone's got a very musical table. Is that you there? Got a very musical sounding table. Someone, whenever they roll, it sounds like a guitar chord being
Yeah,
struck. It's really
that
cool.
one. Royce,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, so like
Yeah, it's mine.
Yes.
I just got a 9, so that isn't the best. What did everyone else get?
19.
19, wow.
16 for Magia.
22.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow,
Just,
you're
just
really
me. I think Constance just did not understand the plan, and so is just standing there like, what? So
Why have you
that's why
knocked them
she-
over?
Yeah.
The Pilgrim's got 7.
They got 7.
Hmm.
Oh wow, they really weren't expecting it.
No.
Okay, let's put the initiative on the screen so people can see. And should we change us to this so we can
So, Royce, you are the first to react.
can't see you there?
I think, would I be able to successfully sneak attack anybody right now because they were thrown off is my first question.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Then I will take out my silver dagger.
Yep.
Relatively simple dagger with like a little bit of silver inscription on like the hilt that just says lucky.
Mhm.
And I'm just gonna go for a very quick little jab. Oh boy, that could have
There
been
it is.
better. That was an 11 to hit.
Ooh, an 11. It kind of glides off this creature's scaly skin. They're kind of naturally armored. It's tough. The dagger just can't quite penetrate.
Hmm.
Is there anything
Okay.
else we're doing?
I think I'm good.
Okay, in that case, next it is Yanis.
So I'm gonna holding the hoopak. Great word. I'm just gonna kind of go. Okay, so I think the way I think when I want to help people, but the other direction, and then I like jab the hoopak at the floor, and I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Which apparently, according to this, just deals them damage. I don't have to roll any dice. It envelops them in radiant. It's radiant damage in case they take extra from that kind of.
Okay. And how much radiant damage is it?
It's 1d8.
And how many of them? Just one or all three?
I can only do it to one. I think that's probably the caveat.
So you've got two are more wounded than the other, and those two are lying on the ground at the moment. So which one are you going for?
Well, the one that's the most direct threat, so the one that's still stood up. That's the closest. Okay. No, it's the middle one that stood up, isn't it? So the first and the third one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whichever one's still stood up, I'll go for that one because the other two are less of a threat. So jabs the hoopak at the ground, and I imagine this bright white flame kind of like erupts along the ground, and then.
At the same time as that happens, the box containing the blue crystal pendant explodes. And bright blue light floods out of the corners of your backpack, and the standing creature hisses, goes.
Yeah, so there's kind of like this. Oh my god! Everything happens all at once.
Okay. How much damage?
For 8 points of damage, I rolled.
Ouch! Ouch! The creature, the draconian, for that is what it is, staggers back in pain as this like blinding light just envelops it, clutches at its chest.
Good to know.
What magic is this? Magic.
This guess is as good as mine.
So we've still got the one in front that seems to be the kind of leader of this little charlatan group. Magia is going to bound up and just be like, I'll show you what kind of magic this is. And we'll cast Force Punch.
Ooh, Force Punch. Okay,
so it's a melee spell attack. So let me find. Oh gosh, what am I adding to this? It's charisma, right? So that's going to be it's a dirty. No, it's not a dirty 20. I can't do math. 15, 18.
It is a hit.
They take 3d8 force damage.
So how does this work? Is it like envelop your own fist and then?
It's it's just a force punch. It just imbues her fist with the power of force damage and
excellent.
She just
So you're
punches
playing a
her in the
caster.
face.
I cast Fist.
8 points of force damage.
Ooh, nice.
And I have an ability from my traveler archetype called Flutter. So after I cast a first level spell or higher, I can teleport a short distance to an unoccupied space I can see. The max range is equal to 5 feet plus 5 feet per level of the spell, so 10 feet.
Yep.
If that's close enough for her to teleport beside one of the other ones,
yes,
she'll do that.
Okay.
Just to freak him out a bit.
Okay, that would freak them out. One of them goes like, "Magic uses." Not happy. So, is that you done?
That is me done.
Okay, who's next?
Me. It is me. We're actually in a line of order of initiative, which is very satisfying visually. I am going to see Magia just like went to town on these people. So I'm going to use my ability as a marshal. So I'm going to use, I'm just getting to it there. What's it? Where is it? So I'm going to use my commanding presence. So instead of taking the attack action, I'm going to allow a friendly creature to make an attack instead. So I'll be like, Maggot, hit him again. And you can use your reaction to either cast a cantrip or make a weapon attack.
Ooh,
Nice.
In which case... so I can cast a cantrip?
Yes, so it's a cantrip or a weapon attack.
I will use my Altered Strike cantrip then, which allows me to briefly transform my weapon or my fist into another material and strike with it, making a melee weapon attack against the target in my reach.
Okay.
So she is going to transform her, I guess, her horns into cold iron.
Wow.
And they
Okay.
change shape and just try to gore the one that she's teleported next to.
Okay.
Is
And that one's on the
is that
ground
one
as well.
on the
I think,
ground?
isn't it?
Does that give me
Hitting
advantage?
while
'cause
he's
they're
down.
prone? Or is that
Yeah,
kind
why
of
not?
cancelled
Why
out?
not?
by my-
Have advantage. Why not?
Okay,
Why not?
so oh gosh, that is 10 even with advantage.
Oh, that is unfortunate. Yeah, it's that whole thing being 7 feet tall and trying to headbutt something really low. It's not easy to do.
Should have kicked him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got hooves down there.
All right, I will. So I've done that. That's kind of my action, and then I'm going to run up to for my movement to the one that is still standing with my axe, and I'll scream while I do it as well, just to try and get their attention
Okay.
and be a
And so we're
hero.
done.
And yeah, for now.
Okay. Next, is that them? What's the initiative tracker gone? Yes, it's them. Okay, so the draconians hiss with anger and pain. The one standing, which you could just run up to, Constance, hauls out a short sword and thrusts it in your direction.
At me?
At you.
How very
What
dare
do you
they?
think of it?
Class.
Pardon?
Armor class, please.
My armor class is 13.
13. That is
Ah.
going to be a hit.
I have parrying on my battle axe,
Okay,
so
what did he draw?
I can roll a d4. That's a 4 I rolled.
Okay, which takes you up to 70.
Above.
So you deflect the blow. But do you deflect the second one?
I don't know.
Which
Tell me.
is 13. I think that's going to hit, isn't it?
And my armor class is 13.
Okay,
And I
so the...
can only use my parrying once, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. No.
So the short sword slips under your armor and does 4 points of piercing damage as the draconian hisses and says, "Die, knight, die!"
I came to help them. That's like a lot. 4 points. Okay.
So there's one on the ground next to Magia who stands and then does a similar thing, pulls out a short sword and swings it in an underhand cut in an attempt to cut through the sorcerer's robes. The first roll is 7 plus 10 is going to... Oh no, you've got a very low AC, don't you?
An AC of 9.
Ah, okay. So that's 4 points of piercing damage as that short sword slips into your robes.
Ouch.
And the second roll is a 2, which takes it up to a 5. The second one misses. And then the final one was were you next to the final one, weren't you, Royce?
Yes.
Yes. So it does the same thing. Stands up and attempts to skewer you with a short sword. I can say it. Short sword. Short sword.
Don't show off.
It's good to have a tavern. 2 plus 3 is 5. That's a miss. And
yeah.
20 is a hit.
Unfortunately.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. That is going to be 8 points of piercing damage.
Eight?
No.
8.
That
Critical
is-
hit, unfortunately.
That is my max HP.
Ew, you want 0?
Yeah.
Yanis, do something.
Oh, well.
Is it Yanis? Whose turn is it?
We'll just
Royce
go
first.
straight up the chain.
Oh, sorry, it's Royce first. So Royce, you're on 0 hit points, so I think it's a death save from you.
Okay.
Oh Lord.
Terrifying. That's a 3.
That is a great noise when you roll that dice. That is a fantastic noise. A 3, that is 1 failed death save.
Great.
I am sure you'll be fine. I am sure Yanis will get to you in time with some of that nifty clerical healing magic. Who is next after Royce?
Me, I think.
Okay.
So yes, true to my word, I'll bound over, kind of to Royce, and is it better? Can I just heal Royce? I don't have to stabilize them. I can just heal.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Then I will cast Cure Wounds
Blue crystal glows, bright blue, and the draconians hiss.
I would like to ask a question. So I have healer as my archetype, and I have heal up, which allows me to add my wisdom modifier. But I already add my ability score modifier to healing anyway. So do I add it twice?
I'll be adding twice then in that case, yeah.
Fabulous. That's good to know. So that's 8 points of hit points back to Royce.
Is that
Royce
you
is
back to
back to
full
max.
health?
Yeah.
Wow, what a whirlwind!
And a miracle as well with this healing going on.
And who's oh, I can't do that. Never mind. Can I do that with any of those bonus actions? No, sadly, I don't think that Sacred Flame is a bonus action. So that's everything that I can do.
Okay, who's next?
V next. Yeah.
So there's still one beside Magia, right?
Mm-hmm.
How's he looking?
A bit battered. I mean, it's hard to tell with a sort of draconian. You're not really 100% sure what their facial expressions would look like and things like that. But it's,
Okay.
he's been whacked about a bit. Put it that way.
She's going to grab her quarterstaff off her back and cast the Altered Strike cantrip again. And again,
Okay.
transform it into cold iron. This solid quarterstaff of cold iron. And just around her head, just going like she's swinging at a ball. Just
Right.
go for a big old strike.
Okay.
So I use my spell casting ability for attack and damage. So that's going to be 19.
19 is an easy hit.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find where my spell casting ability is again here. It's down here. Which is going to be +3. Sorry, I'm just trying to find the damage for my quarterstaff. 1d6.
I think it's D6. I think.
So it's going to be 6 in total.
Okay, that's enough to finish it off, though. You swing the staff around your head, and with this massive, massive whack, whack it about the head, knocking it into a cartwheel sideways, and it slumps to the ground. When it hits the ground, you notice something weird. It kind of, as it hits the ground, it's like like it suddenly weighs like 10 times what it weighed 2 seconds ago. And it lies there motionless, almost too motionless.
I think Magia regards this, but is very disturbed by the fact that there's another one of these creatures standing over
Right, yeah.
a barely conscious Royce and her brother. So I'll use my flutter ability to then teleport behind the next one and hope that freaks them out a little bit.
It does. They look shocked. Well, as much as you can tell how a draconian looks shocked. They go, sorcery! Hi, sorcery! So who's next?
It's me.
Okay, what are you
So there's
doing?
one in front of me and one standing over Royce and Yanis. Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay.
That is correct.
Well, yeah, I'll do the hero thing. Even there's one right in front of me, I'm going to use my bow to try and shoot the one over my comrades, Royce and Yanis. So I'm going to try and shoot them with my longbow.
Okay. Despite the fact that there's one standing right in front of you.
I suppose that would hurt me, wouldn't it? Because I'm really up close.
Mm.
Yeah, I'll just hit it with I'll hit the one in front of me with my battle axe. That's what I intended to do.
Okay.
Yeah, because that'll give me too much disadvantage otherwise. Okay, so I go to hit with, that's just 14.
So here.
Oh, amazing! Excellent! Cool! Perfect! Love it! Let's hit this thing. 6. That's 6 points of piercing damage.
Another one bites the dust. Your battle axe slams into the chest of this draconian. And then as you pull it back, it's like, hang on. Your battle axe isn't pulling back out of the creature like it should. Could you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Yes. I think I might have... No, I don't have proficiency in that. It's a 19.
It's hard. for a moment, your axe is trapped in the draconian's body, which, as you watch, appears to have turned to stone. Your battle axe is embedded in a statue, and as you just about manage to pull the axe free just before the statue solidifies around the axe.
That's weird.
It is weird. You've never seen that before.
I have not.
Properly weird.
And when I've managed to pull my axe out, I am going to then run over to Royce and try and get in a defensive pose to try and protect them from the remaining one.
Yes. Okay, and who is next?
You.
The remaining one. Okay, the draconian looks at Royce, looks at Constance. He's got his short sword in its hands, tries to decide who to stab, trying to decide who's the greatest threat. You did just pretty much destroy one right in front of it, so it decides that Constance is the greatest threat. And with a final hiss, raises his short sword above its head and just tries to bring it down centrally on the top of your head as hard as it possibly can.
I will try and parry to bring my axe up to block it.
Okay.
That's
It
a
rolls
D4.
what we'd like to call 14.
My AC is 13 and I rolled a 2 for the parry, so I think
Okay,
I'm
so
okay.
you block it with your axe, and quickly it spins around and swings in under the axe, going for your body. This
That's
one,
rude.
it rolls. I don't know whether that skull is a 1 or a 20.
I think it's a
20 on the other
1.
side, which means it's a 1, yes.
Definitely a 1. It definitely sounds like a 1.
Definitely a 1. So, it just bounces off your breastplate, that solid
Okay.
breastplate, which is
Your father's
very,
breastplate.
very reliable. Okay, back to the start of the initiative round. Where are we?
With Royce.
Royce. There, what does Royce do?
I'm going to, I think, scramble to my feet and make another dagger attempt. I'll worry about how I feel later about nearly dying. All right, dagger, work for me. Beautiful. That is a non-natural 20.
Oh, that's better. That's more like it. That is a hit.
In question, because of how close Constance is to the enemy as well, would this fall under the way for sneak attack to work?
Yes. Yeah.
Beautiful.
It also thought you were dead. In fairness, it's probably like not expecting a dagger to suddenly come up
Yeah.
from the person that it just laid down
Yeah,
to the floor.
probably, yeah.
Beautiful. All right, let me get to some rolls. Okay, and
Stabbing time.
it's not the greatest stab in the world, but it'll do. 4. Wait, nope. 5, because it's a sneak attack.
5 damage. But that is enough to finish it off. You thrust your dagger into the draconian. Could you make, please, a dexterity saving throw as it turns to stone and starts to solidify around your dagger?
Dexterity save?
Hmm.
All right,
got
that
this.
is a 19.
You yank the dagger back just in time as the draconian turns to stone. That was odd. None of you have ever seen anything like that before. Who are these? What are these creatures? Why do they want a blue crystal pendant? Why do they turn to stone when you kill them?
And they're all fully stone now. Like, if I were to knock on one of them, they'd be
Yep.
good, right?
Are they solid stone? They don't like crumble away or anything when we
They
touch
appear to be solid stone.
Can I snap something like a claw off or something?
I suppose. Make a strength check.
Okay. Just a 12, actually. It wasn't too good.
Yeah, you can stack a 12. Yeah.
I just want to put it in my pocket to take with me in case there's someone that knows about this.
Fair enough.
As I get to my feet, what is going on? Can we just address that for a minute? What is going on?
Your magical pendant is attracting everything.
Look, let's get one thing clear. It's not my magical pendant. It's the Blue Lady's magical pendant. I'm just holding on to it for the moment. I didn't ask
You
for
got
it.
tasked to be
Yes,
the
I went-
postman, brother. It's your pendant.
Yeah, they are shooting the messenger on this one.
Yeah. Are you okay,
What are
Royce?
these?
Yes,
Yeah.
Royce, are you well? I saw Yanis do his magic on you. Are you well now?
I feel good minus the initial shock of being stabbed so bad so fast, but I'll be okay. My clothes are a little messy, but that's fine.
Well, we can fix them. It's not a problem.
Yeah, no, I'm trying not to think about it too much.
Maggie
I
will,
wave a hand, and the clothes stitch back up.
Okay.
Maggie will pat Royce on the shoulder as she goes round to the statue that Constance is at. Could I see if this looks like anything that I've heard tales of before out on the sea? Because you get lots of weird myths and legends between port towns and sailors.
Yeah, sure.
I have Arcana as a skill proficiency, and one of the specialties that I took, you get like 2 at first level, was monstrosities. I don't know if that would apply here, but this looks pretty monstrous to Magic.
Let's give that a try. Yeah, monstrosity seems reasonable.
So would this be wisdom, since she's recalling stuff that she knows?
Intelligence.
Intelligence. Cool. So that will be 15. And with this, does my specialty apply? Do I get the extra d6 for this?
Yeah.
So that will be 15, 16, 18.
Right, it's a good roll. You do know something. You know for a certainty that these creatures are not only not natural to Krynn, they've never been seen before on Krynn. You know this. This is something new, brand new.
Maggie will turn to the group and be like, I've heard a lot of stories out on the sea, and you hear a lot of weird things in port towns with everyone coming in and out, but this? I mean, not this. Literally never heard of this. I mean, I've heard of people being turned to stone by other creatures, and I've heard of weird, terrible beasts with wings, sea monsters and everything, but on land, things turning to stone when you kill them, not so much.
Russ, can I make a history roll?
Mm-hmm.
I have a skill proficiency in that. Would that tell me anything? Are there any from before the 300 years ago?
Sure, make a roll.
With which...
that would be intelligence as well.
Okay, great.
Your strongest score.
That's a 16 minus 2, but plus 2 for my proficiency. So 16.
You kind of come to the same conclusion, really. This is something new. There's no record of these creatures in the history books that you were taught at school.
Yeah. I have never heard of this, and my mother used to tell tales and stories about creatures, and never in this. And in none of my training to be a knight did we hear of any of these creatures.
Well, these look like what people say dragons are like. This is the closest description to any story I've ever heard.
But they're large and have wings.
All 3 statues crumble to dust before your very eyes. Their robes just fall down around them on top, like that bit where Obi-Wan Kenobi dies in Star Wars.
No spoilers.
That makes so much sense.
Maggia kicks through like the stone dust piles. Are there any belongings left over that weren't turned to stone?
Yeah, so the swords, they're there. The robes are there. Just a couple of trinkets are there. A couple of gold coins are there. But the bodies themselves, the creatures themselves, they're just dust.
I'm guessing
there's no like religious symbols or iconographies on pendants or brooches or anything that might.
Yeah. So the leader has a ring, and on that ring there is a symbol.
Ooh.
It's kind of like a dot with 5 lines coming out of it, with a dot at the end of each of those 5 lines.
Can I roll religion?
Yes.
Fabulous.
As you'll hand it off to Yanis. This looks like your area.
So that's 15 in total.
That long past with the symbol of Tarkesis, the god of evil, the goddess of evil, the 5-headed dragon god.
No. Oh.
There's
What
also
is
something
it?
else you know. These constellations in the sky of Krynn represent the gods. Each god has a constellation. And, people basically assume the gods were fairy tales pretty much these days, if they ever even did exist. But, you'd look up and you'd be able to see the constellation of Mishakal, or the constellation of Paladine, or the constellation of Tarkesis. But when you look up at the sky, all the constellations are there apart from two big black holes where stars should be. The constellations of Paladine, the god of good, and Tarkesis, the god of evil, they're gone.
Oh, it's definitely a day of firsts. I hold it out to Maja first, and because she'll know straight away, because obviously we navigate by the stars when you're on a boat, and I'll say, anything missing?
She looks up. That's not right. And she'll move around a bit as if she's trying to navigate around the trees just to make sure it's not hidden behind the forestry. She's like, those are definitely missing.
I'll hold the ring out to the other two. Do either of you recognize this at all?
Would I recognize it, Russ?
For an intelligence of 7, let's say no.
It's
Would I, with an intelligence of 14? Twice
Yes.
as much.
Twice as smart as I am.
Yeah.
I'll look at Constance for the first time, probably, even when I was being chased by the pro-theocrat or whatever. I didn't look this serious. This is the sigil of Tarkesis, the goddess of evil, to put it plainly, if I'm honest. And this symbol is based on her constellation. You know the gods are represented in the sky by constellations. We travel the night sky on boats by them. And this particular one is missing.
Just
And
magic
one
in the
other.
background, shouting over the top of Yanis. It's just, they're gone. They're gone. They shouldn't be gone. Stars don't just disappear.
Not just this one, but Paladine as well, the goddess of good, the good dragon. I don't know what it means. Any ideas, anyone?
It means the stars are gone.
Yes, I know that, Maj. We're trying to work out what that means, though.
Is there a history of this ever happening before?
Ooh, that is also going to be a history check.
I'll do it.
Or perhaps
Can
a
I-
religion check.
Can I jump in
that's-
on the history check too?
Sure.
23 on a religion check.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, this means that the gods, the missing gods, are not currently in the heavens. They are, in fact, here on Krynn.
I think I just start kind of giggling, but hysterically.
No, that's
you-
not good laughter, Yanis.
Do you want to share with everyone else?
That's
I'm going to
nervous
very quickly check for Mishakal's constellation as well.
It's still there.
Okay, that's fine. And then I'll go, and you couldn't pop down and get your own bloody... Anyway, if this is to be believed, when the gods left Krynn, they went to the heavens. And then I point out the Blue Lady's constellation, Mishakal, Paladine Tarkesis. If they're not up there, it means they're here.
In the necklace?
No, on Krynn. Here,
Like
where
wandering around on 2 legs or 4 legs. I don't know how many legs gods have.
that
As
has
people?
yet to be seen. I'm not an expert. I don't get visions or anything, but they're here somewhere. If this is true, if the mythology is believed.
You just had to go and drown in a pool, didn't you? Our parents are pirates. We live half our life on the sea, and you drown in what? A 10-foot pool?
On boats, Maj, on boats.
Right.
So-
Well, I don't know what any of that means, but we made a lot of noise here, and so I think we should get out of this town and head on the boat as per the original plan to get towards Haven. That's something I can do.
How many robes were left behind, and how big are they?
3 robes. They're humanoid size, but fairly large for humanoids. They've got those draconians had wings as well, which were hidden under the robes. Maybe
we could make ourselves look even less conspicuous, Magia notwithstanding, by using the robes just a little bit. If we run into anyone else, they'll assume maybe we're on the same page.
If we run into more of those things, then they might just bypass us. I mean, Minotaur on a boat, not really that unusual.
Sure, let's take them if we think that's a useful strategy.
I think we should get to those boats as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Yes.
So the lake is just another half mile through the woods. You push your way through the woods and you find yourselves on the shore of the lake. There are indeed a couple of boats moored up against a little jetty there. And on the other side of the lake, you can see, on the other side, you can see there's mountains and the forest of darkened wood on the other side. Right on the side of the lake, there's a particularly big mountain. You know it's called Prayer's Eye Peak because of the shape of it. It's like two peaks next to each other, almost like 2 hands praying together, with a sort of like a V shape nestled in the bottom. It's well known that the view from that place to bother to be able to track up is spectacular. You can pretty much see half of that.
Oh, I didn't get that. That just cut out. Was that for anyone else?
Yeah,
it cut out for me too.
Set that one again, Morris.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's a mountain on the other side of the lake,
Mm-hmm.
in the mountain range. It's called Prayer's Eye Peak. It's called that because it looks like 2 hands praying, 2 separate peaks. At the centre of those 2 hands, there's a sort of nestled spot which is a great lookout point where you can see pretty much half of Abyssinia from there. It's like well known. There's quite a trek up there. People don't do it often, but if you go up there, it's a heck of a vantage point.
So
How many boats are there?
Yeah.
2 boats.
2 boats, okay,
Boats, each of which could easily take all of you.
Magi will inspect whichever one looks the most seaworthy just to make sure it is in fact seaworthy, because sinking in the middle of this lake would not only be terrible, but also deeply embarrassing.
Good idea. Do you want to make a water vehicles check?
Yes. What would this use? Wisdom?
I think, for this one.
Nice.
Let me just check. I'm proficient with water vehicle stuff.
Yeah, so you make a proficiency bonus.
And I have... Okay. Oh, that's a horrible roll. That's a 6.
You know, it's too dark. You can't tell. And this is
It's also still bleeding a bit, you know.
This is a slightly weird design as well. It's not like the designs you have back at home. It's like totally
Not as
different
good.
shape. Not as good, no, clearly.
I'm gonna give us. Could I? I could have aided. I could have given you an expertise die, although I don't think that would have helped much. On
They wouldn't
6,
have
would
helped
it?
really.
No, probably not. Can I also? I have an ability to sense weather. If I observe an outside area for a minute, I can predict the weather within the next 24 hours. I can't foresee magical changes, but just want to make sure. Like, are we going to have really all? Because our luck has not been good thus far.
Oh no.
Yeah, you do sense there is rain coming.
You'll see Magia looking really weird, like sniffing at the air,
Mm.
almost like when you see like a bull huffing. It's like, we should get going. Rain is coming.
Okay, very well. And
Sounds come from the forest which you emerge. You can hear the sounds of shouting, and you can see lights in the woods.
Everybody in the boat.
In the boat. In the boat.
I'm gonna quickly, whilst
Pushing.
Magia was inspecting the boats, quickly write a note that says, Your vessel has been commandeered by the Knights of Solamnia for the greater good of Krynn. Many apologies, and I'm going to leave a few gold coins next to the note where the boat was.
Constance, this is by the point you finished with, slowly
Yeah.
starting to like.
Yeah.
Mm.
I will run and
Okay.
jump on the boat off the
Okay,
jetty.
then you jump on the boat. From the tree line, goblins emerge. They've got short swords and they're dressed in leather tunics and they're carrying lanterns. They emerge from the tree lines and one of them points out and shouts in something in Goblin. Does anyone speak Goblin? Let's assume someone does. Shouts, "There they are! There, get them!" And the goblins start to come out of the woods. There must be a dozen or more.
I'll get my bow out
Mm-hmm.
and I'll look and see if there's any with bows and go to target them first. If
They
not,
don't appear to have bows.
all right, closest one then.
Are they rowboats or sailing boats?
These are rowboats.
Oh, okay.
Magia will do the thing where, like, she's just pushing it out as far into the water,
Yeah.
and she can wade out quite far because she's tall. And then there's a horrible rocking as she eventually gets on and just starts rowing them as hard as she
Okay.
can.
I have my short
Is
bow out
everyone
as well.
everyone on the boat? No one's on the shore. Is that correct?
We're all in
Correct.
boats.
Yeah. Okay. And you're just taking a shot from the boat.
I'm balancing. I'm very dexterous.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, cool.
Kill a goblin. Go on. Be stylish.
Shoot a goblin. What is that? A 6 or a 9? That's a 9. That's better. That's just a 12.
A 12. Well, the goblin's armor class is, unfortunately, 13. Sue, your shot flies wide.
Can I also make a
18?
shot with my short bow?
Balancing.
Phew. That is not good. That is a nat 1. This dice does not like me.
Ooh. Yeah, your shot just lands in the water halfway. Just
I've slinged an 18.
oh, that's a good shot. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
That is, yeah, that's just your dex benefit add to your damage as well, or just your it's just your attack roll. Isn't it?
It can do depending on certain things, but
Right.
they should be on your calculator.
Yeah, at the moment,
Should have
it
calculated
doesn't.
it. Oh, you
So
can
yeah,
manually, didn't you?
just 2 points of damage.
Okay, so you clip a goblin about the head, and it staggers back a bit and clutches its head as the rowboat sort of moves out of range of the shore. You can probably have another round of shots if you want before you just
Yes.
the goblins
Yeah.
disappear.
Yes.
I've rolled a 9 again.
I got a 16 this time.
Yes, we got a hit. We have a hit.
Okay, so for damage, and I can say short bow. I'm powerful now.
That's easier than a short sword.
That is 5 damage.
Okay, you take a goblin out. The lead goblin charging down towards the shore that looked like he was probably intent of throwing himself into the water and swimming after you. You just take him out with a quick short bow shot, just like, and he just crashes down on the sort of edge of the water as the waves just lap over him, and you disappear off into the darkness, into the centre of Crystalmere Lake, heading across the lake towards the other side. Well, the lake's pretty calm, and it only takes you about half an hour to cross it, and you find yourself on the other side of the lake after about half an hour. Presumably, you drag here, or were you heading down the river? Was that the plan?
Are they both options? Can we
There
go
are
down
two
there?
options. You
Yeah.
could go down the river, or you could cross the lake.
Would this boat be seaworthy enough to go down the river?
Let
From the
me
sound
put the
of it,
map up
no.
again for you, so you have a bit more of an idea of what's going on.
Without being a meta, are both options? Can we take either option?
Yeah.
Fabulous. My vote's for down the river then, because that's where I feel safest. Because
Okay. I'm pressing this, and it's not changing the layout, Jess, so I don't know what's going on.
You need to
Oh,
click
no.
add to stream for the image.
There
Are
we
there
go.
any more boats on the other side of the lake that look
Not on this side of the lake, no. Just only on the sides you left from.
Because ideally we want to find something that sails rather than rows if we're going all the way down the river.
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't the river flow in that direction because it's going out to sea? So I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can see where you are. You're at the
Yeah.
Crystalmere Lake up there. Prayer's Eye Peak is at 13 to the left. And the river heads south alongside the road, as you can see.
What's? Oh yeah, that's true. Is it literally adjacent to the road? Because those roads will be. I mean,
It can be seen from the road, yeah.
Right.
And then Gateway is a small town, which obviously
But once
you've been
we- once
passing
we
very
get-
close to.
Once we get through Gateway, we'd be off. We wouldn't be on the road. Whereas the road,
Mhm.
well, if we're trying to avoid the roads, we can either go. We could basically risk it from here to Gateway, and then we're away from the road, or we could go over the mountain and then we don't take the road at all.
I'm thinking that maybe we go via river to Gateway because we've got a head start now on those goblins chasing us. They're going to have to take the road and deal with all those difficulties, and anyone else waiting along it looking for us. Which means we can get into Gateway, supply up, find out if anyone else knows what's going on with the blue glowy stuff and the weird things turning into statues. And then we can either leave by river or by road from there.
It's a safe. It's a what you call it. It's a safer position as well, isn't it? On the river, I suppose it's harder to ambush us because they've got to fire from the shore, or they can't. I mean,
they can see us coming, but we can see them coming too. Whereas on the road, they can set up an ambush much easier.
And we've got really efficient bows to shoot them with from the boat anyway. So
and you're really good at it,
I know that's
and good at controlling ships.
All right, so we're going south down the river is the answer to that question, I believe.
Okay, so I think that Mash is going to be in charge of this particular endeavour. I would like a water vehicles check, please.
Okay, so I gain an expertise dice on checks made to control or navigate water vehicles.
Can I upgrade her expertise though by aiding?
Are you trained also in?
No.
No.
It wouldn't be very helpful. Like, have you thought about doing it like this?
Yeah, that's what I do all the time.
Yeah, you have to be trained in the same skill.
Okay, cool.
You can't mansplain boats to her, no.
I like the idea that Yanis is helping by repeating things that you'd learned.
Is he
from our
basically
parents,
helping in the
you
same
haven't
way that
actually
my
done.
dog helps when I try to do stuff? Is it kind of like that?
I'll say things like, remember, you've got to row both at the same time, otherwise you'll just go in circles. Stuff like that.
It's just Maggie being like you did that time Dad put you on a boat and
I don't have proficiency in water vehicles because I took ocarina as a musical instrument instead. So that's how I'll help.
Good
I'll play a jaunty or haunting ocarina tune as we go down the river.
Okay. What ability am I using for this?
This is going to be strength, I think.
Okay, that's okay. So that is an 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24 in total.
Wow.
Maggie's good at one thing.
Okay, you head down the river and you make good time. Heading down the river at rapid speed. You do see lights on the road as you travel down the river, and you hear voices on the road. It looks like soldiers.
I'll stop playing my ocarina.
Maggie will tell everyone, just shh, sound travels on the river, and just gets everyone to hunker down in the boats, gets any lights out.
Check, I think. I group checks. So for a group check, everyone makes a check, and the group succeeds if more than half of you succeed. So 3 of you will need to succeed in this check. The DC of this check is a 12. So we need 3 people to get 12 or more on a stealth check.
15.
What? Stealth dex, did you say?
14.
Stealth, yeah, dex.
21.
13.
Fabulous, because I got a 2 twice.
You just didn't stop talking, did you, Yanis?
I didn't stop playing the ocarina, actually.
Right, okay.
Maggie just takes it off him in the end. It's
Yeah. Well, you still manage to slip past the soldiers on the road. They don't notice you slipping past in the boat, despite Yanis's attempt to change that situation. And you make your way down the river. It's probably sort of half the night's travel to get to Gateway. So we're going to have what is called an exploration challenge.
Oh.
So, normally I wouldn't actually say it's an exploration challenge. I just do it. But we're kind of demoing level up a little bit here. So I'm going to kind of explain a little bit how it works as I do it, so the people who aren't familiar with them will know. So an exploration challenge is a group challenge, which they're generally quite freeform. So any solutions you come up with will be fine. There's suggested solutions in the challenge. So this challenge is, as you approach the river, there's some river rapids running over some rocks with a little waterfall. And your boat is rushing towards these rapids and these rocks. Now it's up to you what you do. You can come up with any solution to this particular problem. What are you gonna do about this problem?
I think immediately Constance looks to Magia to kind of do this because she's like, boats. What do we do?
Can Magia tell just from her experience how much damage these rapids would do? Is this it's going to toss everyone out and shatter the boat?
This will sink your boat, yeah.
Mm.
Now, in your opinion, if you were to make a decent water vehicles check, and the other people were to balance the boat appropriately, making good dexterity checks, a group check of that nature, you think you can navigate those rapids. However, if you fail that group check, your boat is going to sink.
We'll be swimming and walking then.
Yeah.
Oh no. How easy would it be to slow the boat down enough? How easy would it be to slow it?
How would you do that?
So if Magia put both oars against the current to create like a water buffer, to kind of slow the boat down, and then I could use my hoopak and we could use other long things to kind of gently like push us through the rapids. We'd go very, very slowly and probably lose a lot of time.
Okay. I think it would be a similar situation except you'd be making strength checks rather than dexterity checks.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Really?
So
Imagine he's going to be making a water vehicles check, whatever.
Magia found out that it was going to rain soon. Would it be possible for them to pause just long enough for the rain to start? Because the rain picking up will raise the water level, which will make the rocks of the rapid less close to the boat as they're floating on it. Would that
Tell
be
you what,
at all?
using that knowledge will give you advantage on your check.
Okay.
So you wait for the rain to start, which you predict is in another 10 minutes. Before you get into the fast bit of the rapids. You slow down before you get to that bit. 10 minutes later, the rain starts just as you predicted, just as you knew, and you're ready to enact your plan.
Are we
All
doing
right.
strength or dexterity checks? What are we best at collectively?
The difficulty is everyone has to do the same, because it's one strategy or the other.
It doesn't matter
assume-
for me because I'm
Except for
making
you,
the
you're
water
doing water
vehicles
vehicles,
check.
yeah.
So
I assume dexterity. Do we get any skill proficiencies for athletics or acrobatics?
I'll allow athletics.
I'm aiming for
Athletics if it's strength, acrobatics if it's dexterity.
Should we go dexterity?
Let's go dex. Let's do it.
Going dexterity with acrobatics proficiency if you have it.
Okay. So
Oh
I'll
my
tell you in
God.
advance, the DC of this is 14.
What do you roll?
14. Okay.
I rolled a 2.
I got a 16.
So so that's 5 in total. Out of this many.
Natural 20.
Oh, very good. very good.
19 on the
Okay.
waterfaring check.
Okay. So despite Constance's you just sit down. You try to balance on the edge of the boat and wait.
I'm
But you
in
can't. And you just
heavy armor.
And
You
it's
are wearing
raining, and
and
you
it's
know.
raining. Yeah.
And I've had a really tough day.
Stood on the back, kind of body just, when you see like feet rigidly planted, but body kind of like wobbling around with the motion of the boat, but feet are firmly planted the whole time and just kind of just prodding stuff. And I look at Constance, I'm like, you've never been on a boat before.
Okay. So
No.
as the other three successfully navigate this boat through the rapids, Constance, you sit down heavily on the seat in the boat. You just kind of give up. And looking over at the band, you see a magnificent white stag.
Oh.
And then it
Wow.
runs off into the woods.
Okay. Does that resonate with me as a symbol?
Yeah, that's a very, very big part of Slamnik history.
Okay.
When Humor Dragonbane originally defeated Tarkesis, the Queen of Darkness, in the other Dragon War, the first or the third or the second or something Dragon War, which I can't remember offhand, but
Yeah,
a
one
previous
of them.
Dragon War, many thousands of years ago, Humor was led by a white stag. And he followed that white stag, which led him to where he was able to recover the Dragonlances.
Okay, I'm gonna say to the guys on the boat, I'm gonna go. We need to pull the boat over. We need to pull the boat over.
Of course, to the rest of them, that probably sounds ridiculous.
We need to pull the boat over. There's a stag over there.
That's nice. You're hungry?
It's no. A white stag. It's a symbol. We need to follow it. the last time, the wars were there. Do you not know your history of the wars?
Look, I know bits and pieces and versions of everybody's history.
Well, we should pull over the boat. It's a symbol. We've had a day of symbols. We've had monsters turning to stone, and we've had the magic necklace. If we need to pull over the side, we must follow it.
Okay. On boats, we do the thing, everything by group consensus. So all those in favour of pulling over to chase the strange white stag.
Thank you, Royce.
Terrible idea.
I'm interested to see where the shiny lady's taken us with this one. So,
In worst case scenario, Constance buys drinks.
Okay.
Yes.
you're on one round already. And
Jolt the boat towards the shore.
So you're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
By democracy, yes.
By my faith and by my honor, we need to follow this symbol. It will guide us to victory, Russ.
I'm sure it will. I can't see anything that could possibly go wrong.
if she's wrong about this one, like she was about the last lot, then we know just to completely disregard her following any other symbols in the future, right?
Okay.
But she's got a point about the symbols.
So, you pull over the boat to the edge.
Mm-hmm.
You are about halfway down the river towards Gateway.
Okay.
There's no one on the road at the moment. It's easiest to cross it. The white stag sort of ran through passes in the mountains towards the darkened wood on the other side.
I've got survival to like track it.
You don't need to track it. It's standing on a bluff about 100
Oh.
feet ahead of you, looking at you.
I'm gonna go to like cautiously
There's a
approach
slight
it.
problem.
Yeah.
No one else can see it.
It's oh god, I'm going insane. Okay, so I'm gonna be like there. Hang back. I'll approach, and I haven't realized they can't see it because I'm stupid, and I'm just gonna go to
Nice.
approach it slowly.
Nice.
As you
Yeah.
get within about 50 feet, it looks at you and then bounds off further through the pass towards the woods and stops about another 100, 150 feet away and stands and looks back at you.
I'll turn and look back and be like, "It's leading us this way. Come on."
Of course. Yes.
Constance.
Yes.
How well do you know about animals?
Well, we had the cat, as you know, growing up.
Okay, let's just be trepidatious. I'm gonna, while you follow it, I'm gonna cut around the side.
Okay.
Yeah, just to make sure this isn't trap number 2.
I don't think it's a trap. It's a symbol. It's guiding us. Animals don't tend to lie like people do.
Turn to Major and be like, "You're not seeing anything, are you?"
No.
It could be magic.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, Uncle Duran kept claiming that he could see that giant octopus, and he never came back when he went to investigate. So he might have been onto something just because we couldn't see it.
Yeah, he also might have tripped on a rock and cracked his head open, which could happen here.
That's true. Royce.
Oh no, she tripped on a rock and cracked her head open.
Does she do this
Oh, no.
often? Like, have you ever seen her start babbling about seemingly non-existent pale
No,
creatures?
normally this is normally leading people into danger is my specialty.
Right.
If I had to pick one out of the group to start hallucinating wildly, it wouldn't have been Constance, if I'm honest.
She seems very convicted about this. I'll check around the side to make sure this isn't like someone casting some illusion magic and stay
have
with her
a
to keep her
look.
safe.
Kick ass if it's a trap, and if it's not and it disappears into the nothing, then we just go back to the boat and carry on our way.
Exactly.
So, Royce, what are you doing by going along the side? Are you stealthing or?
Yes, I'm planning on stealthing and percepting.
Okay. Let's do some of that then.
All right, dice. You don't like me and I don't like you. Work with me. Beautiful. That was I've said it a lot today, a 21 for stealth.
Okay. The rest of you can't even see where Royce went. She's just like disappeared off into the edge of the pass.
How is it we never see her leave? Ever. It's just you think you get used to it by now, right?
It's like Batman.
Just like Uncle Daryl. That's all I'm saying.
Royce can't see any sign of a trap. You can't see any sign of a stag either, to be fair, but you can't see any sign of a trap. There's no one else there.
I'm following the stag.
Constant. Sort of jog on.
It's right here. It's a symbol.
Okay, point from somewhere around your waist. Point to where the stag is.
I will point to where it is.
There's no stag there.
Okay, I'm going to put one hand kind of on your upper arm, which is a bit reach for me. I'm going to say, either you're being possessed by madness, it's a vision from the gods, which I can attest is a thing, or it's an illusion that only you can see because there's nothing there.
While Constance is distracted with Yanis doing this, can Magia, using like her Arcana skill, just see if there's anything that would indicate Constance is under the influence of a spell right now?
Give it a go.
Or drugs. This is not.
What was in those spiced potatoes?
Yeah.
Wisdom?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Potatoes.
Wisdom.
Right.
I'd also allow insight as well. For that as well.
I'll go with Arcana because I've got a proficiency in Arcana. If anything looks like spellcraft here. Why do I keep rolling so bad? 8.
You've no idea. Not
It's
a
just
clue.
Magia's currently trying to like move brush around and inspect and looks at Yanis. I'm like, she seems fine.
Yanis, I know this may sound very strange, but a lot of things we've seen today have been very strange and different. I believe we have been brought here for a purpose. We have been given signs. Sometimes we cannot think our way out of situations. We just need to give our loyalty to our mission and our pledge, and I believe this is why we're meant to be here.
So, the boat and the stag, do you want us to leave the boat and follow the stag?
Yes, I believe we should follow the stag. We can tie the boat up here and come back if we need to, but this is a symbol I cannot ignore.
Royce, I'm going to call out to Royce.
Yeah, I'm here. I just like pop out.
Yes!
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Right.
Practice.
Let's take a subordinate vote. We voted to leave the boat before we established the stag is illusionary or invisible. Sorry. Now let's take a vote on if we're going to follow the illusionary stag into the mountains and a point at the big foreboding mountain range on the other side.
I've never seen Constance this determined about something that no one else can see. I'm going to side with her. I'm sorry.
Thank you, my friends.
Well,
You're
if we're
loyal
up
to the end.
It's going to take a while, and the people following us think we're heading down
I'm
the river.
going to add a little bit more information before you make your decision.
Okay.
Darken Wood is supposed to be haunted.
That's made up. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Magia is not bothered about the haunting at all. She's had lots of stories of ghost ships and haunted ports and
Famously evil woods. Town with beds.
Not evil, haunted. There's a very large difference.
1 and 2 are often associated, it's safe to say.
oh, come on, Yanis. How many stories of ghost ships have we heard and haunted vessels? Even that time we found one floating out on the sea and it just turned out there was a bit of a hole in the bottom and everyone had jumped ship. Not one single one of those turned out to be real.
It was mice. That ship was crewed by mice. I believe it. Anyway, right. Fine. Let's go over the mountains into the very,
Yanis,
very haunted wood.
if you have fear in your heart, know I am here to protect you.
Thanks. let's follow the invisible stag.
I can see it. It's over here.
The people following us are not going to try and track us into the mountains. They're going to expect us to be heading down the river or the road.
And they
So-
probably can't see the stag either.
As everyone heads up, I'm going to say, I'm putting the amulet back on. If anything goes wrong, I want it between me and whatever is in the woods.
All right, but
Okay.
tuck it under your shirt for now. We don't need that blue glowy thing attracting attention.
Tuck it
You want to
inside.
hop up? As you'll point to Yanis, like, it's a long trek.
And then it doesn't like without it looking at his feet like, yeah, I want to hop up.
Magic will like get down on one knee. I like to think that like the top of her backpack is packed very flat so that Yanis can piggyback on it.
Yeah. His legs do go either side of her neck. He holds onto the horns
the
like
horns,
that.
yeah.
Rests on them like that.
That's great.
It's just all kinds of wrong. Okay, so you follow Constance, who is following the alleged white stag, which leads her through the mountain pass over a period of about 3 or 4 hours and into the darkness of Darkened Wood, the haunted wood where people fear to tread. And it is 10 o'clock, so it's time to call it for tonight. That is the end of today's session. You all gain 1 level before you enter Darkened Wood for next week. So you'll be going in at level 2 next week, which will help, I'm sure.
Yeah. We probably won't need it
all
because
very
everything's fine.
much.
Thank you.
Would you all like to just go through and just tell people where they can find you, what you're doing, and anything you want to plug, anything you want to say, really? Anything at all? Do you want to start, Jess?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Jess. So you can find me on enworlds.live, where I do obviously this, where we'll be doing the show every Tuesday, every Monday, wherever you're watching this. I also do the show Not D&D, and that's a show where I interview different indie tabletop RPG creators about their games that are not Dungeons and Dragons. So if you're looking for a different system for whatever reason could make you feel that way at the moment, I do a show all about that. So that's every Monday wherever you're watching this, and you can also wherever you're watching this, on Fridays I do a show, This Week in Tabletop RPG, which is a summary of the week's news in 3 minutes, which I'm going to struggle with this week because, oh boy, a lot of things have happened in tabletop RPG news this week. But yes, that's me.
Okay. Who'd like to go next? V?
Hi, I'm V. I do many things in the tabletop sphere, including playing and GMing and graphic design and writing and all of the stuff. I'm not streaming regularly, but I do have a Twitch channel, which is the same as my Twitter, Tabletop Horde. And right now I have 2 seats available in one of my private subscription games, which is based in Ravenloft. So you can message me about that over on Twitter if you're interested. I'm working on a whole bunch of things, but I'm under NDA on all of them, so I can't tell you what any of them are.
But that makes them better.
Yes, it's
NDAs
more
make
fun when I
everything.
finally get to announce it and be like,
Yeah,
I worked
exactly.
on this thing, but like in the lead up, it's just a lot of like, yeah, I'm really busy with things.
Stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Top secret stuff. It means you're like a 00 agent, you see.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that sometimes.
Okay. Dare, would you like to go next?
Hi, I'm Dare, pronouns she, they, they. You can catch me on all parts of the interweb over at Dare to Dream RPG. That is DARE, the number 2, DREAM RPG. I am a trans writer, editor, producer, musician, poet, yada, 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 yada. In terms of the big things, you can catch me Saturdays over on Transplanar RPG. It is an all-trans D&D actual play podcast. We're in our final session, or our final season, our final arc, and I'd really appreciate if people came out. Besides that, I have a couple of things I'm working on, but I will not say no to more work, so do not hesitate to reach out to me for any sort of thing.
Sorry, I apologise for my facial expressions there. My dog just started being weird.
I heard the dog noise.
Yeah.
You're good.
You jumped up on the couch, started looking out of the window, and started whining.
It's those haunted woods.
It must be.
Yeah.
It must
He senses it.
Okay, finally, Jack.
Hello, hi, I am Jack, in case you didn't get that from the rest of the stream. I have the least to plug. You can find me on Twitter at Jack_Mullings, where I post relatively frequently about what I'm up to in terms of actory and performancey things. If by any chance you are some sort of casting director or someone who is looking for other spots in streams, I do this kind of thing, and like I will not say no to more work. So please feel free to contact me on Twitter. If you would like to see me performing in real life, I'm currently taking part in a touring show that is traveling to Lincoln, Exeter, Edinburgh, Oxford, Cambridge in the next 2-3 months. So if you would like to come along and watch that, it's a 1920s kind of themed escape game / theatre show. So there are puzzles for the audience to take part in. That can be found if you Google Wine Escape. So give that a Google. I am in that if you want to come and see it. But if not, I won't see you there. Thanks very much. That's me.
All right. With that, I guess we're done. Thank you, everybody. It's been a blast. Can't wait for next week. when we
Same
enter
time next
Darkenwood.
week. Bye.
All right.
Same
Bye-bye.
stream channel, same stream time.
Yeah.